This episode of Limit Break Radio is made possible by our generous Patreon donors, including Photon Aloysius of Belmung, Vexen Duragon of Sergeant Anus, and Mazarin Ferenzi of Hyperion. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/Limit Break Radio.
I said don't take your clothes off.
Juxtaposition.
I don't get it.
Ascalia.
Holy shit, totally forgot about him.
And Mika.
Oh my god.
LimitBreakRadio.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Limit Break Radio, episode number 37. It is Youmacon weekend. I can only speak for myself. I'm a little bit hungover, but glad to be here, and happy Halloween.
Hell yeah, I think we all look like we've pretty much got through it unscathed. I mean, it's a third, fourth year for some of us. We pretty much got this con thing down, but let me tell you, poor Fairbear.
Oh, poor Fairbear.
Getting the con experience.
Oh yeah, we popped her con cherry this weekend. So hard. Big con bang, and
there was blood everywhere.
And she has the con plague.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm not sure we should talk about her being diseased after talking about popping her cherry.
That's what you call comedic timing, okay?
Learn it. We are, of course, live from Eorzea. Let's kick it over to the studios. Here we are. We don't actually have any of our members in the studio. Not that I would know anyway. I don't know what the fuck you guys look like anymore. So
yeah, one of those could be me.
One of them.
We might all be there for all you know.
I'm the pretty one.
Except I actually saw all the names, and it's actually none of the people who
Shut the fuck up.
should be here. So, great. Good job. Way to go, guys. Anyway, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. Last night at Youmacon 2015, these guys attempted to roast me.
Attempted
to roast me.
Come on, let's be honest now.
What?
Let's be honest.
What?
It went well.
It went well. You guys got some good ones off, but it was a good time, and I do want to I really do sincerely want to thank everyone who took the time to submit a video or just be a part of the roast. Ascalia and Kahlo for setting it up, Kahlo for emceeing. That was a huge honor for me, and so I really do want to thank you guys. And yes, there will be video of the roast that's going to be going up. We don't know when, but it's definitely going to be going up at our YouTube page. So make sure that you go subscribe. YouTube.com/Limit Break Radio.
It's on Ascalia time, so who knows when the fuck that's going on.
That could be any time.
Yeah, right.
Hopefully in time for our 10th anniversary.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll show it at the 10th anniversary. The premiere.
There you go. Yeah.
Just rehashing content.
Yeah. But big thanks to Ethis Asher, Mr. Happy, Joe Never, Samus Rageborn for coming out and being live there at Youmacon. Mm-hmm. That was great, man. It was great to see him again. It was great to hang out with everyone. And yes, if you came out, thank you so much for coming out. If you meant to and missed it, I understand. It was at 1:30 in the morning. Honestly, by 1:30, kind of none of us really wanted to be there either.
Yeah.
But we were like, we got to do this because we've been plugging it for so long.
The thought went through our head like, maybe no one will just show up and we can just say we did it.
Yeah, and then people showed up and we went, all right, I guess we have to do this. But thank you for joining us today.
It's noticed something really weird.
What's that?
You just mentioned a bunch of our big community, supporters and stuff.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, right.
Mr. Happy.
Right.
And normally at this point, Kookie's just like flooding the chat with links and stuff to their Twitters and their Twitches and their stuff like that.
Right.
She's kind of down on her game.
Oh, look at that.
So I'm just wondering, Kookie, what's up? You have an excuse?
What's going on, Kook?
No excuse. I just don't have tools with me right now.
Okay, hold on. There's plenty of tools in this room.
I was gonna say we actually bring Kookie into the studio.
I count 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 tools in the studio.
Don't call Kookie a tool.
I'm not calling Kookie a tool. I'm calling Ascalia. I'm calling Ascalia a tool.
Ascalia counts as 2.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, you.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. All right. Well, Kookie, we brought you all the way over. Well, we didn't. You came all the way over from California to be at the con with us this weekend. And yes, Kookie is actually in studio here today.
Yes.
Hey guys.
And apparently has no way to perform any of her duties and functions as the PR person.
I'm trying.
So
here.
I think it's only fair that you serve as like the intern today.
What?
Yeah. So maybe coffee and donuts. That sounds good. Could you maybe get us some coffee and donuts?
Coffee and donuts does sound good.
Yeah.
Ascalia, can you get it for us, please?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
Please?
That sounds right.
No. She's here. She gets to do that.
Okay.
What's
intern?
But you're also sort of like her liaison. You picked her up from the airport. She was
Yeah.
supposed to stay with you, which she politely declined.
No one blamed her.
You're like the host here. So you're gonna make her do all this work? You have to make her comfortable. Show her a good time.
She's our guest.
Come on, Ascalia.
Coffee and donuts, please.
Sprinkles, blue ones.
I like lemon
Fine.
and raspberry filled. Like
you're-
half and half.
Yeah,
I
eat a
want
dick.
lemon
Yeah,
and
whatever.
raspberry
You're getting
in
chocolate.
one.
Old-fashioned glaze, please.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go. All right, so we are just now 1 week, no, 2 weeks away. 2 weeks? When is the 10th? We are just
1 week away.
1 week.
A week and a half.
Now, see,
a week and 3 days.
Had Juxta remembered to count down last episode, we
Yeah.
wouldn't have been so confused about it.
You
Way to go.
dumb shit.
Sorry. All right. Well, you know what? People are getting like really hard on us about being negative all the time. So you know what? We skipped a week. So now, like everyone forgot. So now it's like, oh, only 1 more week. So I did the world a favor. You're welcome. I'll accept payment in the mail.
So yes, we are now finally looking down the barrel of 3.1. Got a couple more previews this week. I don't know. Let's just run the news sounder. Oh, geez, look at how I fucked that up this week. Wow.
Way to go, Nika.
This is a limit-breaking news update.
Failbot. Oh God.
Nothing like those post-con weekends, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, blame it on the con.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So we did get a couple of previews for some of the stuff coming in 3.1, including a preview of Minstrel's Ballad, Thoradin Reigns preview. So I mean, there's really nothing here that's worth reading. Do you want to? You know what, Kahlo, you have now, since the last episode and reading Nikki Seven's email, have garnered a reputation in this community as being able to read dramatically. So why don't you give us a read through,
a dramatic read of the little patch notes here.
Yeah, because really there ain't much else worth reading.
All right. Let me see what we can do here.
Yeah, slide on over.
Do it as movie trailer guy.
Yeah, there you go.
The release of patch 3.1 draws closer by the day. And in today's preview, we offer you a glimpse of the newest challenge dreamt up by the Wandering Minstrel, Thoradin's Reign. With his typical flair for embellishment, the Wandering Minstrel has woven yet another stirring epic, this time from the threads of your Azizla confrontation with Archbishop Thoradin VII. With the final verse yet ringing in the chambers of your mind, the memories of that titanic struggle arise once more with an almost surreal clarity.
We got a couple of I don't know, screenshots, I guess. And then we get the breakdown.
Level requirement.
Oh, God.
Disciple
You
of
can
War
stop now.
Magic,
You can-
level 60.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Item level requirement.
Why did I
Average item level 190 or
Can I
above.
use my one-time mute on call?
Party size.
No, you don't have
8
that.
Why
players.
not?
You don't have that
Time
ability.
limit 60 minutes.
You don't deserve that
Quest
ability.
Thornton's Reign.
You sure I don't deserve it right now?
Requisites.
This is worth
Maybe-
it.
maybe
First
right
complete
now.
the main scenario
Still,
quest.
it's a power that I don't want to give you.
Ward. Topics.
Stop
Comments.
it. Stop it.
Zero.
Look how quickly it goes to his head. Don't ever compliment this man on anything.
Seriously, there were I think total between all the threads that I saw on the whole debacle we're going to get to, there was like 4 or 5 people that were like, man, that guy did a really good job reading that email. and the ones
Yeah,
that...
4 or 5 out of the 5,000 people that watched our YouTube.
But
congratulations.
What
You convinced,
really... can I use my
0.1%.
juxtamute really quick? Juxtamute.
Fuck you.
What really got to me, really made me sore, was the fact that a few of these people were like, yeah, that guy did a really good job reading it, and then proceeded to fucking slate us. So these are people that don't like us, but they're still willing to be like, you know what, Kahlo, you did a good job.
Yeah.
I just see Kahlo at his computer doing Control F for Kahlo and voice of a god.
Just the first part. Just Colin. Honestly. How often do you Google yourself? Yeah, okay, yeah. That pause was enough to tell me exactly all
No,
I
I
needed to know.
guarantee you probably Googled yourself more than I have.
I Google myself all the time, but I don't need to hesitate to admit it.
No, I've Googled myself, just
Okay.
not often.
Okay, I don't believe you at all. So we also
the comedy start?
Not anytime soon, because we also got a Lords of Verminion overview, and I have no desire to read a single thing of this.
Lord of Verminion preview.
God, no.
The Manderville Gold Saucer has just unveiled its newest attraction, Leagues of Verminion. Adorable minions are now fierce warriors as they go head-to-head in this exciting new strategy game.
Okay, all right.
What?
You know what? Back it down.
Too much?
Yeah. Just
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Let me try a little something different, okay?
Yeah.
Lords of Verminion overview. Lords of Verminion is a competitive mini-game in which a player engages an opponent
Are you
using
sure?
summon
You can
minions.
still mute him.
The objections for winning the game is to have your minions destroy
Are you gonna read
Arcana
this?
stones placed on
No.
the battlefield.
Yeah, that's what I
Players can participate in matches against other players or the CPU. Stats and ability types vary from minion to minion, making it possible to bring together different special actions for diverse battle strategies. The game is also conducted in real time, which means the player will need to place their minion positions during combat, making Leagues of Verminion a strategy-based minion game for the ages. I don't want to read any more of that. It's dumb.
Okay. That's enough. If you want to read the rest of the Lords of Verminion preview, because you're apparently a very sad person,
And you have no life.
you can go do that over at FinalFantasy14.com. That's at the Lodestone. We'll also have a link to this at our website, LimitBreakRadio.com. That's pretty much all that we got in terms of and the trailer. I mean, they officially put out the trailer. That's really all we have in terms of official Final Fantasy 14 news. So I want to remind everyone about Extra Life that's coming up next weekend. We're going to be hanging out here on the stream on twitch.tv/LimitBreakRadio, as well as twitch.tv/Final Encountercast. We're going to be streaming for 24 hours playing video games to raise money for children's hospitals all across this fine country of ours.
Speaking of which,
Yes.
no fucking Nika today.
And no Nika today, yes.
What the Nika? Didn't come to YomaCon, didn't come to the show.
She's at another con, too.
She's pulling a major Escalia right now.
You know what? All 4 of us went to the con, or 5 of us went to the con, and we're here in studio.
Even Kooky, I'm
I
pretty
flew
sure,
in from California.
which
to be
is
here.
way further away than wherever the hell Nika is.
Well, we can just replace Nika with Kooky.
Deal.
Done.
Now we actually have a girl in the studio,
There
too.
you go.
There we go.
Instead of a, giant man beast masquerading as a woman.
Anyway, yeah, make sure that you sign up for Extra Life at extra-life.org. I'm sure that someone, Kooky already has a link to it. And
I got it. I'm trying.
Good.
Over here furiously typing on her phone.
Yes, join Team Limit Break Radio if you'd like to help us raise some money for children's hospitals. Really, this is a fantastic cause. In the past, it's raised over $2 million. I don't remember. I have
more and more every
single year. Yeah, the first year that we had participated, I think Team Limit Break Radio specifically ended up raising something just around like 12,000, maybe 11,000, something around there. And then the next year we raised like 8,000. So it would be awesome to have a return of form. I mean, you know, it's been a couple of years since we've been involved, so I know that people aren't as tuned into it as they were in the old days. But if you would like to, if you'd like to do some good and help raise money for kids with cancer, extra-life.org is the way to do that. And even if you don't sign up for Team Limit Break Radio, consider giving to any team. It doesn't matter what team you give. It really is a fantastic cause, and you can't go wrong with giving to any team on Extra Life. And you know, you know, even if you're not going to participate as a part of Team Limit Break Radio, participate on your own. You know, stream on your own. Stream your own 24 hours. So it's a really fun event, and really happy that we're going to be involved with it again this year. So I know that we're looking forward to that, but that's going down next weekend. And keep an eye on our Twitter page and our Facebook page for exactly what time we're going to be kicking that off. I think we generally do 8 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Yeah.
But the question, I'm not sure which days we're doing. I think it would be Saturday into Sunday if I had to guess. But we'll confirm that a little bit later on social media. So anyway, there's... Oh, man, what a week. We have had...
It's a great day because Fallout came a week early.
Yes, it did. Ooh, man. This has been a fascinating week for us here at Limit Break Radio.
I don't think, I mean, obviously we in our time we've stirred a lot of pots. We've rustled a lot of jimmies.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But I don't think any of them have been to this level of epic proportion.
Oh yeah, this has been very, very sweet. So the first thing I want to do is I want to encourage anyone who wants to call up and talk about this or anything related to Final Fantasy XIV. You can do so by sending a Skype message to the Skype account Limit Break Radio, or give us a call 810-515-8715. And so let's talk about this. On the last episode of Limit Break Radio, Kahlo, you read a very impassioned, some might say very salty, very frustrated email from Nikki7 on the state of our FFXIV, the Final Fantasy XIV subreddit. And I echoed some of those sentiments afterwards. I've had my criticisms for that website for a long time. Specifically that subreddit for a long time. I wanted to clarify. Some people thought that I was taking issue with Reddit overall. That's not the case. I actually am a very, I'm a very enthusiastic Redditor. There are some subreddits that I find, awesome and inviting and creative, and really enjoy the way that they're moderated and run. And so, yeah, my criticism is not for Reddit as a community, but more specifically our FFXIV, the way that it's moderated and the way that it seems to encourage its community's behavior over there.
Yes, because let us tell you from experience, the mods absolutely, whether they even realize it or not, influence the way users behave.
Oh yeah,
100%.
And you know, I think if you go back and you listen to episode number 36, where I express a lot of my criticisms, like, yeah, you know what I do, there is a lot of fuck yous and there is a lot of like bluster and what would you call it, dramatization, more for comedic effect than anything. But the bulk of my criticism hinges on the fact that, look, we spent like 8 years running our own forum community doing it wrong. Like they're making what I was saying is that they're making the same mistakes that we were making, 6, 7, 8 years ago, and and I only say this is because I know what you're doing, I know where you're coming from, and I see why you're fucking up. And
for once on Limit Break Radio, we're talking from experience.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because God knows that if you haven't cleared every single piece of content, then your opinion is automatically invalid. That's the thing, is that it comes from a place of it comes from a place of a little bit more experience. I see what they're doing, and yeah, that was the bulk of a lot of my criticism. But we'd love to hear from you. It sparked off a huge discussion, two different Reddit threads that were upwards of nearly 200 comments by the end of each one of them. Last I looked at our YouTube, we had excerpted that clip and put it up on YouTube just before the show, and got a ton of hits. First of all, I mean, wow,
5,000 in 24 hours, right?
We don't have much of a YouTube presence, and nor do we try to have much of a YouTube presence, so that was kind of cool, and elicited something like, last time I looked, over 100 comments, somewhere like 115 comments, sparked off this big discussion about the way that RFFXIV is moderated, and there was okay, so we had the two Reddit threads.
I was gonna say, yeah, let's walk through the timeline really quick.
Yeah, we had the two Reddit threads, both of which were closed and deleted.
Nikki7 had put up or shared the video
with a paste bin of his actual
email, and he was banned.
Yes,
and that was closed down.
Yeah,
right.
Yep.
And then somebody else reposted just the video, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that stayed open a little bit longer.
That made it to the front page.
Yeah,
that one was like 200 comments long before it got
270 something, upvoted to like 95.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. And I think what I don't know. I think what
before the threads were closed, and then all the comments were deleted.
Now, here's something that bugged me a little bit, right? So first of all, I guess Nikki7's thread was that closed because of self-promotion?
No, that was closed because of toxic content.
Okay,
you can't go around calling people ham beasts on Reddit. That was the
hit too close to home.
It was too honest. Really what it was.
Was that also the reason the second one was closed down too?
I have no idea.
Because I saw
civility, maybe. I think it was under civility.
Okay, yeah,
I don't know,
because I saw some people throwing stuff around like about the whole you can't do self-promotion, blah blah blah. You can't post your own videos. They're like, it's okay to post, Mr. Happy or Joe Nevers, so we can talk about those.
Right.
But you can't self-promote. And I'm like, Nikki7 isn't one of us. That wasn't self-promotion.
Yeah, right. Well, no, Nikki7 did get intrinsically sort of attached to us.
Sure.
Via this. I mean, that is sort of what happens. But I don't think it was because of self-promotion. Had it been, I think that would have been total bullshit. But it doesn't matter. I mean, the point still stands that, they're not even willing to come to the table for the discussion.
And what was most surprising for us too was when the second thread was posted, a very large majority of the commenters were echoing Nikki7's sentiments.
Yeah, yes. I mean, like it doesn't matter if it's been at YouTube or it's been these two Reddit threads or even at Blue Garter, who definitely had some strongly worded criticisms for us. Oh boy. It doesn't the spread of like comments.
Oh my!
It's like 75% to 25%.
Okay, guys,
for like agreeing with us versus a whole bunch of nobody's disagreeing.
Listen to this. Harkina FFXIV has said in our chat here that I actually tried to repost LBR's 3.1 discussion video, and my post never even made it to the news section. They're being automatically deleted on post. I asked a mod, and they replied with this.
Oh, interesting. Let's hear that.
Okay, so this comes from Time Boundary. Briefly, a combination of their unprofessional stance towards other Final Fantasy XIV communities, as well as the hosts, probably hosts as well, aggression towards the community moderators via Reddit have led to a temporary moratorium of posting their content to the subreddit.
Wow.
So basically,
they just openly admitted to discriminating against our content. That's really interesting.
One video was bad, so we're just not gonna let you guys post anything from them.
Wow. Reddit.
Checkmate, guys. Checkmate.
What the fuck,
guys? We might as well just pack up. How are we gonna ever make a successful
we're
show
never.
without being
You
able
know
to be on the
what?
subreddit?
We have a failure of a podcast on our hands.
This is the
failed
final
podcast.
nail in the failed
I
podcast
know.
coffin.
What are we gonna do without
That's
Reddit?
it.
If
We're
we
done.
can't post to
Shit.
Reddit, what's even the point?
I know. I don't know. I don't know. What are we gonna do? I'm panicking, guys.
Oh wait, I got it. We could just take it all over to Blue Garter. In fact, that's what happened.
Oh yeah. Well, they'll actually let us talk about it.
Yeah, that's right. When the second post was closed down on Reddit, it popped back up on Blue Garter. Got to like 15 pages, I think.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comments.
A lot of fucking comments.
Lots of
And the
comments.
great thing is too, right? All the Reddit people migrated over there and carried on the conversation anyway.
Some of them did. Yeah,
But the big important ones, Enema, whatever the fuck your name is, Eni, like if you're just gonna come to the one on Blue Garter and actually share your opinions, why not just let it happen on Reddit?
I don't know. It seems cowardly to me.
I don't even know what it seems like, but in your mind, do you not actually look at this and be like, oh shit, no, we don't want this. I don't want this to happen. Close down. Oh, it's over here. Now let me go. Like, what? In fact, we saw a chat from them where he was something like, "Get me these guys on the phone. I want to talk."
I have that. I have that right here.
Yeah.
I have that right
read
here.
it. Yeah.
So apparently, Ane, upon seeing the video for the first time, says, and I quote, "Someone get them to contact me." Ooh. Like you're some important fucking douchebag that I need to talk to.
Hold on. I'm gonna give him credit, or her credit, whatever the fuck they are. I'm gonna give them credit because right here it's like, they're coming to the defense of their community. Okay, that's the initial thought that I had,
which is what we called them out to do.
Right.
Oh, and then they go, never mind. I don't want to go on his show. He's the kind of plague that makes Reddit worse.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's us.
Really?
Okay.
Because we have so much to do with Reddit. Because for 35 episodes, we had anything to do with Reddit. Anything at all. None of our content was posted there. What the fuck do they think they're doing exactly? Ooh, you're hurting us so much. Right in the gut.
Yeah, I got nothing.
No, not Reddit. How are we going to survive without their support? Fucking morons.
I think we'll make it.
Oh, I think we will too.
But
Oh
we
yeah,
need to
maybe maybe we could just try doing exactly what we've been doing. Think that might
But we
work?
need to ensnare the ham beast community. We need to corner that segment.
That is a big market we could try to break into.
Oh my god. This whole thing is ridiculous. And the fact, like, we have, and the thing is I have invited the mods to come on this program and talk about it. All we did was read an email. That's all we did. All of the really mean stuff, the really aggressive stuff, that was in the email. Didn't come from me. Didn't come from us. So if their stance is, oh well, we're gonna ban their content from here because because they're being really aggressive with our community. No, we're criticizing your community. It's too bad that nobody can take criticism anymore. Nobody can honestly take criticism on its face and just be like, okay, and just handle it.
And you know what? Speaking of criticism, there was a lot of criticism for us.
Yeah, there absolutely was.
In that Blue Garter thread, which a lot of it was negative.
Oh, it sure was.
Absolutely, and I loved reading that most.
It was.
The best one. Oh, poor Nika. Poor Nika. Trying to diffuse the situation, and the first reply, misquoting one of her things, was just "Shut up, whore."
Oh,
Oh, poor Nika.
Oh, jeez. geez, Nika. Well, you don't make anything better when you come in and say, yeah, but I'm busy in real life. I mean,
she was kind of asking for it.
Yeah, she did. She brought it on herself.
Yeah,
a little bit.
But no, there was a lot of good points in there. For example, they were calling us out on how we pretend to be hardcore players. So
because we say that a lot.
So,
we do.
So we're gonna stop doing that.
Yep.
We're not gonna say that we're hard. And in fact, I'm gonna issue a statement. Okay.
Sure.
If anybody can go back into any of our episodes and find where any of us have claimed to be hardcore players, right?
Or even raiders.
I will delete my character and start over from level 1.
Fair enough.
shit.
So
Find it.
So all you haters out there who despise Limit Break Radio because they're the plagues of the community, go ahead, find it. If you really want to hurt me where it counts, find this soundbite where we unsarcastically,
Yes.
claim to be hardcore. Then I will delete my character, which will be devastating to me, and I'll probably stop playing Final Fantasy 14.
I just kind of want to read some of the excerpts that we got.
Do you
here.
have some?
Oh,
Can we
yeah,
read a few of them?
Absolutely. Can we talk about how bad LBR is? Podcasts seem to be drawn to people who have a lot of opinions about content they've never done. I had to turn it off after they were discussing endgame raids and telling people to, quote, get good a few months ago when only a few of the hosts was even raiding at the time. And one of them hadn't even set foot in any of the raids, didn't even have their subclasses leveled for abilities, and was spouting off about stuff and how bad people can be. Well, that's really interesting because the whole get good discussion. Again, I'm going to state this again for the motherfucking stupid people who haven't gone and even
listened to our episode.
Actually listened to the episode or actually heard me explain this on the several fucking occasions that I have. Okay, Get Good was specifically referring to Coil Story Mode, or they were the at the time the suggestion was for Coil Story Mode, and by extension they had already announced Alexander Story Mode, and specifically we were talking about story as incentive, and if you feel like you're missing out on a part of the game and it's too hard for you and you still want that essential piece of story, well, then you gotta try for it. You gotta get good. And that included us.
Absolutely.
It included us. We were including ourselves in the get good statement, you fucking nitwit.
Yep. That's
well, now, hold on. You can't criticize yourself because that's really mean to yourself, and that's a bad thing. And now you have to ban yourself from Reddit.
Oh,
from your own subreddit.
I have to ban myself from my own subreddit.
From our Aniro.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. All right,
a horrifying place.
In the chat, Sheik92, BuzzFeed's going to be next. LBR, watch out for it. 10 reasons why LBR can go fuck themselves.
Oh, God, yes.
I kind of want to write that myself.
Right?
All right, what do we got next? Which one did you read?
All right, I read, I think I read the very, very top. I've read that very, very top.
Felisa's?
Yes.
All right. Gray Jorladin says, LBR was better before they started droning on about Patreon, though, so they could do it more often. I listened for 6 months prior to that, then got totally turned off by the bid for cash for a product that wasn't really for me. Sorry, I raid. One of the panelists actually did, and it was rarely part of the discussion. It's a fun podcast for super casuals, though.
That's actually kind of...
This guy gets it.
That's fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's totally fair. Until I went and checked out his podcast, and it's just...
Oh, he has a podcast, too? How is it? He doesn't ask for money, right?
No, they don't. I don't know. I don't know.
What's his viewer count like?
I have no idea.
Oh.
Don't have a clue.
Okay.
But that is fair criticism. I got to give him that.
Absolutely. And you know what? We've tried to address the Patreon thing, right? We kind of try to tone it down a little bit here and there because we know that for some people it does get annoying. Absolutely.
But at the same time, we've explained that, look, if the trade-off of whether we do sponsored content where a game is paying us to say some shit or a product is paying us to say some shit about it, or coming to you and asking you guys to chip in for the product that you already enjoy. If we've got to pull the show over for 4 to 10 minutes to do that, I'm okay doing that.
Yep.
But you do understand that the byproduct of that is that we're here every single week. We do the show every single week.
You get 4 times the LBR,
which apparently for Greg Jordan is too much. It's too much LBR, which is fine.
That's by the way, like he says, like it's not really a product for me. Like okay,
yep,
that's okay.
And you know what? Here's the other thing too. Greg Jordan's comment was pretty tame as well. So if he would have thrown in some fuck yous and you guys are assholes, eat a dicks, take it up the ass,
cum guzzlers,
yeah, that criticism would have been just as valid and actually a lot more entertaining too. So Jordan,
that one sucked.
Yeah, Jordan, next time go ahead and just
try a little harder.
Make a little flavor
please.
confident.
Yeah, throw some salt in there.
Yeah. This one I think will make up for that though. This is from Alim. LBR is complete and total shit. I've listened to a couple of episodes, the other time before this steaming pile happened, and I'm already pretty sure my eyes were nonstop rolling. Dumb people talking about things they don't know nothing about. Pretending to be super hardcore, pandering to the worst part of the hardcore community. Add on to that the myriad of yelling and videos that I would rather shove ice picks into my ears than listen to their garbage ever again. This email is just par for the course, and the LBR shit show. We would all be better off without them.
I'm butthurt, man.
All right, you see, perfectly valid criticism. He doesn't like our show. He doesn't listen to it. That's great.
It's not for you.
Yeah,
it's not for you. Good.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
Here's the one vibe that I do get from his thing though, because I felt this about not just other like podcasts or streamers, but sometimes just shows in general, right? Or for example, when I see people droning on about comic stuff or movie stuff that they obviously know nothing about, right? I think to myself, you fucking morons, are you fucking kidding me? Could you like first of all educate yourself on this fucking crap, right? And then you know what I do? I go and I correct them. All right? So I think what he does is he listens to our show. He realizes that we're all a bunch of fucking prats, right? So, and he can obviously do it better. He knows more about this shit than we do. So
good.
He's thinking to himself, why the fuck do these guys get a show and I don't? Like, who the fuck gave them the right to do this when they're obviously idiots? Because there should be people more educated, more in the know, like me, up there doing it. And the answer to that is we did. We put this together. We put ourselves on air. We did the work, and now people listen to us. And if it wasn't for us putting you on the air right now, your post would have been drowning out in a Reddit or a Blue Garter forum somewhere. Maybe you got quoted once or twice, but you know what? Pick up a mic, take your check from working your 50 hours at McDonald's this weekend, and go buy yourself a microphone, okay? You don't even need any fancy equipment, all right? Because no one's going to get up to our production level. Get your voice out there. Use your so-called, whatever these opinions or this knowledges that you have on these on the source on Final Fantasy 14 and show us how fucking good you are.
Do it. I mean, come on. Why, if it's so easy, do it. I mean, it was so easy for the Guildwork podcast, right? Like they got.
You know what?
They got 4 episodes out.
For all the shit that we give Guildwork,
Kipling.
Absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
No, I actually
kudos to them.
I give
because
them credit.
They tried.
They did. They really did. And
they had a great idea too.
And actually I really enjoyed their show. It was one of the very few FF14 shows that I was like, shit, I'm actually really excited to watch.
You know what Guildwork did? Guildwork got good.
I know they did.
Guildwork got good at podcasting.
They did, but then this shit isn't that easy.
No, it's not.
This shit is not that easy to manage 4 or 5 schedules,
especially with as toxic as the Guildwork community is. Trying to pick even the brightest out of Guildwork, they're still fucking assholes, and to put them all in one room. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, we've got to manage egos. You know what I mean? Like, it's a difficult thing to manage a podcast.
Well, we'll give you a tip though. A good way to keep everything in check. Obviously, it's harder when you're in different corners of the world. But if you can get everybody into the same room, if you have at least one of them that's willing to blow everybody else, thank you, Escalia, then problem. People are just a lot more amicable.
That's true. Yeah, blowjobs help with everything.
Yeah, blowjobs and punching bags all around.
A couple small comments. Can't stand LBR. Oh, okay. That's fine.
Well, okay.
It's not for you. LBR definitely has a problem with awful callers. There's this one guy they let call back for like 3 shows in a row, maybe more. I haven't listened to for a bit now. And he just...
No.
You
leave Robert from New York out of this. He is a kind and caring soul. He never did anything to hurt anybody.
Droned on about irrelevant shit. I mean, it was kind of cute at
wait,
first.
is he talking about Juxta?
Oh yeah, no.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. It's got to be Robert. It has to be Robert. I mean, it was kind of cute at first. The first time, if it had lasted half as long, but they just got silly and then boring, and then I'm turning it off when someone tells me that when the cringe call is done. Not only that, but not the only example, but the prime one that comes to mind. They definitely need to impose some sort of caller time limit or something. I actually think we're actually pretty zippy through calls, because you know what? On the other end of that, we get callers who write us back and complain and like, you cut me off too early. No, you didn't get to your point fast enough. So, here, there's some criticism from BG for our callers. Make it snappy. Make it snappy, guys. Fucking let's get it going here. Speaking of which, does anyone want to call?
Hey, I can bring in some.
Yeah, let's start bringing in some callers if you want. Let's see here. Kala, why don't you read it? We'll read one more.
Neps. Let me read Neps.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
Nep says, "Lol, this video. I've called out fucking guild work. No, you didn't. You showed up, you made a spectacle of yourself, you shit on the floor, they laughed at you, then you pulled up your pants and left. LBR, please. I cringe every time I have to engage with this particular flavor of autism. Please go." I like that.
I wish we had him for the roast last
Right, we should have invited him to the roast.
Seriously.
Great.
Again, all this really comes down to, all their criticism comes down to is these guys aren't for me.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's fine.
You
That's
can't
fine.
please everybody.
Yeah, we're not trying to. That's the point.
Yeah.
That's the thing that doesn't sit well with people, is that, they're not used to their media talking back to them. They're used to throwing out criticisms on Twitter, whatever they want, or on Yelp, or whatever stupid fucking thing they think gives them a voice. And then they, and the sad part is that all too often, companies do end up catering to these people and do listen to the criticism.
You know what they would prefer? They would prefer us to censor all of this bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? To PG it down.
Well, that's
only throw out pictures of cat girls, conform to the Reddit standard.
That's right. That's what Reddit mods would want. If we did that, we would become a sponsored site, I think.
By the way, FFXIV subreddit, you're welcome for your catgirl filter that you have now.
Right? How about
No. They've had Ascali. They've had that for a year.
Reddit,
have they now?
Reddit has had it, but the subreddit for Final Fantasy XIV did not.
I don't know. I don't know that's. I have no idea
because
it's fucking stupid.
It's very curious.
I do think they've had that for a year.
After we've brought up the idea that your subreddit is just so full of shit. Obnoxious shit, that you can't find anything that's actually useful. Because before, when we've been looking up topics, I've gone to Reddit before looking for shit, and you're right. There is nothing in here that would spark any kind of interesting or meaningful debate.
Discussion.
It's all just fucking bullshit.
Nothing.
And after we've brought up this whole idea and went after them about it, well, Nikki said and brought it up, we went after them about it, however you want to say it.
Right.
Or put it. Suddenly, they are implementing tools that have been available to the Reddit sub-communities, but weren't yet available to the Final Fantasy XIV. No, it's true. It is. Because
are you sure?
Someone linked it somewhere, right? Someone linked it somewhere, and I'm pretty sure that it was Ane or Enema, whatever the fuck his name is. He actually re-commented on it because someone's like,
"This is the stupidest name I've ever heard."
Yeah.
Someone actually commented something asking like why this wasn't before, blah 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 blah, or something, and he actually clarified saying that it is a tool that Reddit has had, but they just didn't realize that their subreddit hadn't implemented it yet.
Oh, okay.
So yes,
All
so
right.
now that we bring it up and point all this stuff out, suddenly there's a way to filter
Either way, it got it a lot of attention. It got that filter a whole lot of fucking attention. It's also got their community a whole lot of fucking attention too. So you're welcome for that. But dude, this really, like, sitting here and reading these comments really comes from Ane, saying that we dig holes and bury our heads in sand when it comes to criticism, which we have never done.
Never done.
Never done.
No, hold on. Maybe he has the wrong idea, okay? criticism, when someone gives you criticism, okay, if you don't make a change to reflect that criticism, that doesn't mean that you're denying it, okay? That's not required of taking criticism. Criticism is looking at a comment, looking at someone that someone says or you know, of you, of your content, right? Basically saying that, yeah, I get it. I see what you're saying, and then responding to it. You don't have to change it, okay?
Yeah.
So as we have just obviously done, we've read through various criticisms. They are all valid.
Yeah.
They are all on point.
Yeah.
Some of them are very entertaining as well.
Yep.
Some of them are very boring.
Some of them are very boring.
Yes.
That's right. Grade Judicialin or whatever the fuck.
Some
their
of
name
them
is.
are very dumb.
Some of them very dumb as well.
Some of them are very dumb.
And again, you're all right. But what we would have to change to please you isn't what we want to do. So we're not going to. But still, we thank you for your criticism. And if you have any more, email them to us at host@limitbreakradio.com.
Or put them wherever, because we
Wherever you
generally
want.
end up finding them.
Yep. So just pull them out of your ass because they're not doing anything up there, and put them somewhere, and we will find them and read them because we love doing that.
Absolutely. I think we also had a PM that we wanted to
Oh my gosh!
read
yes.
about the
Juxta. I know that PM was to you, but can I read it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Do we have
We have a
anyone-
caller on the line.
we have someone on the
let's
line.
talk to the
Let's go to
caller
the phone
first.
lines. Let's
Okay.
go to the phone lines.
To the
see
phone
what
lines, we have Arthur's of Chocobo.
Hey, what's up, Arthurs? How's it going?
Hey, wait, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we're good.
Yep.
Oh, okay, perfect. First of all, let me introduce Arthurs from Chocobo server, Japanese Chocobo server.
Awesome.
So,
Hey, welcome to Limit
yeah.
Break Radio, Arthurs. Thank you.
So
Yeah, man, I've been dropping by for a long time. By the way, great podcast, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Share a lot of similar rage we have. For example, the Reddit bullshit and the official of forum bullshit. So
Yeah.
okay, before I begin, how much time do I actually have?
so long as you're making good points. All right.
Yeah.
Are you actually calling from Japan?
No. Let me first say my English is not really good, so
It's better than
if
a
you
lot of
guys-
people who call in.
You know, honestly.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah, no, shit. No, real shit. You have a better handle on the language than a lot of people who live in this fucking country. So don't even fucking worry about it, man. Like, who are native born here, have never heard another language in their life. You have a way better handle on it. So
Better than that asshole Juxta.
yeah, exactly. He says YOLO. You haven't said that yet, so that's all you really need to know. Anyway, go on.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
Okay, first
Swag.
of all, I've been streaming Final Fantasy 14 for straight 4 months.
Nice.
Like every day, 5 to 6 hours, and
Wow.
I'm playing on the Japanese server, right? So naturally, I did shit with my static, Japanese static, and then I also, because I got 4 characters, so I also do shit with the parks. For example, Alexander, you know, basically I did Savage with parks as well.
Nice.
And then the viewers is always like saying, "Whoa, wait a minute, this is a park. How is park able to clear turn 4? You know?
Yeah.
While we can't even do turn 1, turn 2. I was like, come on, guys, don't give me that crap. You know, turn 1 and turn 2 supposed to be easy already.
Well, wait a
And
minute.
then
Hang on. No, there was this great statistic that somebody was talking about. I can't remember who brought it up or where I was reading it. But there was this statistic about how much of the Japanese community and how many different players on the Japanese servers have cleared through Alex Savage 4 versus how much of the NA and EU community. I think this was Samus that was tweeting this, that had brought this to my attention. And
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I'm sorry.
No, go on. It just seems like the Japanese player base has a way better handle on stuff like Alex Savage 3 and 4 than NA and EU, because they've cleared, you know, like the Japanese players have cleared at
guys,
such a
They actually like pug this shit.
massive rate. Yeah, it was
How is this new? How is this news to you?
This-
you know
that's
that
No. Here comes the main point, though.
Okay.
The main point is, why is everyone? I mean, a lot of people is freaking out. I was like, come on, guys. Since the final call, we've been doing this shit.
Right.
Like, you guys should be doing this as well, right? Because I've heard words, you know, on my Twitch chat. It's like people is say, Gilgamesh is doing the same. We are about turn 3 Savage already. People are attempting to possess. I was like, great, nice, because if that's the case, like, why are you guys like so surprised that, you know, Chocobo is able to do turn 1 to turn 4? And then there's people is like saying, wow, our server just got world second, not world second, server second, server third, server fourth. I was like, come on,
Wow,
can't
this
be
late
happening,
into the
right?
game?
Exactly. This
Wow.
can't be happening, right?
Wow.
If on reset day we got at least 10, 20 groups, that's exaggerating, by the way, like maybe 5 groups able to clear on reset day,
Yeah.
turn 4, why is the NA not even able to do turn 3, turn 4? I mean,
I'll
come on,
tell
guys.
you why.
You guys are like,
I will
you guys
tell you
are like-
why.
You guys got world first, right? You guys are supposed to be the master race, right?
No,
So why is this happening?
no.
Come on, guys.
We have a saying here in America, okay? No matter how good you think you are at something, there is an 8-year-old Asian kid who's better than you are.
Oh, no. You're all human beings, man. I still believe-
Yeah, right.
I still believe the community should help each other out. Like, you know, people is like, I've been hearing news like, people is like saying, come on, you need to know the fight before you
Right.
join the fight.
Get good,
Right.
yeah.
Get
How
good.
the hell is people able to learn the fight if the party finder don't even have, let's say, a group that start from the very beginning,
Absolutely.
or even group that's this advancing certain phases, and then you have people like saying, "Oh, you must know the fight. At least see the video." I mean, what the fuck?
Absolutely. No. I'm totally with you. I'm totally with you. Now, this I think is a fantastic point because one thing that Final Fantasy XIV did differently than Final Fantasy XI is that it segregated servers by language, and now you have certain data centers in certain certain areas of the world, which yes, it is supposed to reduce latency, but there was this fascinating thing that happened in FF11 where you had a cross-pollination between multiple languages and players that would be at multiple levels of the game, and I feel like that maybe the Japanese community taught far more to the North American community than we ever gave them credit for.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, exactly. I've been playing 11 for before Final Fantasy XIV came out. I've been playing 11 for like 9-10 years as well. So yeah, coming from that, I can definitely see that. Like I don't know, man. My shout out to the NAs is, come on guys, you guys can work better together, right? Make your community better rather than like people is saying, why is people quitting? Why is people leaving Static? Why is people going to Gilgamesh? Like, how about starting somewhere, make the community better, be patient with one another, People is like saying, how is my practice group? Back then when I was progressing turn 3, turn 4, the Parks practice is doing 90 minutes straight, and then people is like, oh, if it's an NA server, like, you guys should have kicked this guy already. I was like, come on. If you kick him, how are you gonna get?
How are you gonna get better?
Like,
yeah.
Exactly, man. So come on, guys, be better. I mean, when I first came to Chocobo like a year ago, we were not in this state at all. We just starting. We couldn't even get final coin pop clear until.
Was it a low pop server?
Oh no, Chocobo is extremely populated.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So. This is my first part of the things I want to cover. Like, how about you guys work together? Because you guys obviously can play the game. I've played with NA. I have one character on NA server as well. So, I can see that NAs actually have potential. But the thing I realized is the NA focus more on the FC and static concept.
Yeah.
And then the general people who is in Parks or without static, they are pretty much fucked,
Yeah.
If you can't get a group, you don't get practice, you will never get accepted in the group.
Yeah,
and then
one of the paradoxes of the NA and one of the paradoxes of the NA community is you can't join unless you have experience, but you can't get experience unless you join.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So whenever some FC has some people leaving, they have to look for the Parks, right? I mean, the first thing first is friends. After that worst case scenario, post in forum, post in Guild already, whatever shit, man. And then you get someone who probably doesn't make your cut. So
right.
How about,
And
so that you can,
And it was different with Coil too, because the endgame community hadn't really sussed out who was good or who was not good, and things like rotation and gear builds, and there was a whole lot more willingness to sort of get somebody up to speed who is willing to learn than there is now. Somebody tells you, hey, I don't really have a whole lot of experience and I'd love to be able to learn. You look, there's a lot of North American players who look at that as like, oh, red flag, I don't want to touch that, fuck that, you know what I mean? And like, that's not very conducive to helping people learn or helping people advance either. And then we start seeing it in terms of very real numbers on the other side when we start looking at how many different players have cleared what different turns. I mean, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah. So, I mean, gotta start somewhere, guys. So I hope,
Caller, real quick. big question from the NA player base, probably at large, and you can feel safe to go ahead and tell us this. Like,
it's a safe space.
Square Enix doesn't listen to the show, so you can tell us. Like, come on, Square Enix gives you guys extra stuff, right? like that's a thing, right?
I mean, okay, I'll sum that up, but the next thing I'm going to talk about is Square Enix, all right?
All right.
As much as I love Square Enix, I love this game. I mean, you guys have been talking about this. Actually, 2 weeks ago, I tried to call in because we were on the topic.
Yeah.
I would like to go back a little to cover that. Like, come on, Square Enix. You have been delayed. You guys have already delayed Heavensward for what, 3 months? They delayed 3 months, right?
Yeah.
From spring to summer, and then now we have 3.1 getting delayed by a month.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we're gonna get Relic delayed for probably another 1 month. So what's going on, man? Come on, Square Enix. And then we only get 2 expert dungeons. That's not good enough.
Yeah, it really does hurt.
Why are we getting like Lord of the fucking Verminion? Why are we getting shit like that?
It's great PvP.
Oh my god! Like, did someone did an Inception on Square Enix on Yoshida or something that he has to bring this into the game? Oh my god! I mean, I'm pretty sure there's people out there wants to play that content, but I just cannot brush off the idea that Square Enix has paid too much attention, not just to Lord of Verminion though. Who knows? Maybe in the future we'll see more bullshit like that. Like, I feel that Square Enix is wasting too much time into this content, and then probably it's the reason why we delay. I mean, a lot of people feel the same. So what the fuck, Square Enix? But at the same time though, back to the topic you guys were covering, Reddit official forum. Guys, you fucking casuals, please stop and giving Square Enix ideas like this, man. Oh my god, look at the plushie. Can we get the plushie? Oh my god, that Chocobo, that Moogle blanket. You know, I was live streaming and I was doing a partial translation. The moment I saw that blanket, I knew someone is going to ask Square Enix to sell that bullshit. And boom, 5 minutes later, it's on sale.
Okay.
You know, come on guys, can we stop asking shits like this? You know,
I really have to ask. All right, would you consider yourself a black sheep among JP players, or is this kind of the mentality of the JP player base? Because if this is the mentality of the JP player base, we've got a new market we need to expand into. Because we are a podcast for them.
You know what? What is surprisingly, what surprised me is after all this while the NAs is saying, I mean, including me actually, these few days, I kind of feel like there's absolutely nothing to do already.
Oh,
but for some reason though, my FC mates, my Link Shell, my Static friends, my Park friends, they are always online doing shit. Be it helping people turn 3, helping people even turn 4. Sometimes I even get called on as well doing turn 3, turn 4. So I was like, how are you guys actually still enjoying and have things to do? So I can't help, man. Sometimes I would just be asking, are you guys doing anything? Do you want to play, for example, Metal Gear Online? Do you guys want to play Dota? They are like, nah, we have things to do. I was like, how is that even possible? And then when I pressed my party finder button, on reset day, we got like 50 to 60 party finder doing Alexander Savage.
Wow.
And then when I log into Leviathan, which is where my NS is, when I press the party finder, basically there's nothing. I was like, okay. Yeah. So maybe that's the reason why Square Enix is a Japanese-based company, right? Maybe they didn't feel that from the Japanese side. But maybe everybody is running already. Everybody is like leaving everything behind, playing beta MMOs, playing everything, man. Just not Final Fantasy. And
it's true. Well, I think I think a North American audience is far more fickle. I think if you're going to have an audience that's going to bail from your MMO, it's going to be your North American audience.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. So Square Enix needs to seriously, man.
They need to step it up.
Yep. By the way, Cookie just posted Arthas's Twitch channel down there in the chat, so everybody make sure you click on that and go give him a follow.
I seriously,
he speaks the truth.
I like this guy. I sort of feel like we should have him do Limit Break Radio in Japanese. Like,
we need the translation.
No, not a translation. Just have him host his own show and call
LBR
it Limit
Japan.
Yes.
That's too much pressure, man.
Oh man,
I mean,
no way, no
I
way.
Daily dose of rage every day on my
If
channel
you,
already.
dude,
I were to
if
do
you
this-
opened up the microphone every week and you did what you just did here, that is Limit Break Radio, man.
At
You
its
have
heart
it.
and soul.
It's not something, not everyone has it. Not everyone.
No, they don't
like
get it.
Just like the show isn't for everyone. Not everyone has it. Not everyone has that spark. But Arthas, we can tell you've got that spark. You got the Limit Break Radio spark in you, man.
We would trade Escalia for you any day.
Did I just blow your mind?
That's true of so many people.
It took 2 years to groom his spark, and you did it in one phone call, my friend.
Arthas, by the way, I was wondering, where are you actually calling from?
Singapore. I'm from Singapore.
Wow, that's awesome.
That is so cool, man.
That's so awesome.
Let's check that one off the map.
Yeah,
I speak Japanese as well, so that's why I play in the Japanese server. But
that's fantastic.
I want to feel how both population works. I like because the negative comments from the NA community is so bad that I actually have to transfer one of the character to try, and next week I'll be doing. My meal will be ready for Savage, so I can't imagine what's gonna happen. So
good luck. I guarantee you the tone is going to be far different between the two communities.
Oh yeah.
I've heard, as I understand, because I don't do it now. Again, me claiming to be a big hardcore raider, I'm not. I know I have to. It hurts me in the heart to admit that I haven't gotten to Alex Savage 3, but
let alone Alex Savage 1.
Yeah, right. But hey, that's a technicality. You don't need it.
Hashtag sarcasm Reddit.
How did that add to the conversation, Juxta?
Yeah. But anyway, being that I'm so hardcore, I wouldn't know firsthand, but I understand that Alex Savage 3 makes North American players quite a bit more toxic than they are normally, and I don't know, we just spent a good 35 minutes reading their vitriol on air, so what I'm trying to say is it gets worse. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't get any better, just so you know.
So you got that to look forward to.
Yeah. So good luck, and make sure you call back and let us know, what the experience was, because we'd like to know, how
the differences.
Yeah,
anytime you want to send an email or call in, you just let us know, because we would love to have you back on the show.
Absolutely.
Wow. Thanks. I'll make sure I'll do that. Probably next week or the week after, if I'm not dead yet.
Yeah, right. I can't even imagine. What time is it there?
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
4 a.m.
Wow. What a trooper. What a dedicated fan. Thank you so much for calling us today.
No problem, man.
Seriously,
Great show.
Very nice of you, and appreciate all your compliments on the show. And honestly, your comments about the game, I couldn't agree with them anymore. And thanks. That's such commitment, waking up at fucking 4 a.m. or staying up till 4 a.m. to check out the show. That's crazy. So
he's been trying to call in for a few episodes too.
Wow.
So way to go,
You should
Juxta.
feel so bad, Juxta.
I was gonna get him on.
Not really. There's some weeks that.
Thank you,
literally can't stay
Arthurs.
awake, so
Blame Juxta. No, blame Juxta. That's bullshit.
It's the LBR way.
Boo, Juxta. Boo. Shame on you. Anyway, thank you, Arthur, so much for calling us today. That was a fascinating conversation. If you'd like to join us for Limit Break Radio and call us up, give us a Skype message at Limit Break Radio, or call us 810-515-8715. Now, I know that who was it on Nitin on Blue Garter would definitely have a problem with how long that caller lasted because we read their comment about how we have callers for too long on the show.
Well, when they have substance.
But I'm sorry, I was hanging on Arthas's every fucking word because I could only understand like one in every three, but I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I'm serious. I actually could understand absolutely everything that he said, and
one of our best callers.
Yeah,
right there.
it's especially for English not being his first language. That's so fucking impressive. But I was hanging on every single word he said because everything he said was fucking interesting and it was fucking dead on.
Very cool seeing the JP perspective on things.
Absolutely.
And his message to NA players to work together, he's like, guys, this is doable in Pug.
Yes, it is.
So
that blows my mind.
He's coming over on his NA account now, NA players, you're on notice.
Yeah.
Get your shit together and be decent.
Japan is calling us out. Are you going to rise to the challenge?
You better. You better. I mean,
I guess we know where Samus, the pug hero, is going to transfer to next.
Yeah, right. But all right, let's. We
ready
have
for this thing that was sent to Juxta?
Juxta got a PM, and I guess you're going to read it. Okay.
Yep.
Right.
So this is a Reddit PM from Dezolis84 to Juxta. He says, "Ward up, Juxta. I just wanted to send my thoughts on this whole subreddit drama you guys caused. And yeah, I would definitely blame you guys. Did it need to happen? Maybe. I have no idea. I dig the subreddit for what it is, but apparently there are people that dislike the way downvotes are treated. Could it have been addressed better? Most definitely. If the movement gains traction, it won't be because of the bitching. It'll gain traction because of a Final Fantasy XIV podcast with a decent amount of followers is unhappy about the state of the subreddit. This could have easily been done with suggestions targeted to the moderators and the general population in a reasonable manner." Okay, can we kind of address points as we go?
I guess, yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Really?
All right, first of all, yeah, you're right. We did start this. Abso-fucking-lutely. Nobody's taking our thunder on that one.
Yeah.
We did start the fire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
we're pretty proud of that too, I'd
we
say.
are, yeah. And if it gains traction, will it be because of us? Yeah.
And
in fact, yes, it has.
And are we enjoying the traffic?
Oh,
Fuck
we
yes.
sure are.
Oh, of course, we're enjoying the exposure.
Could this have been done with suggestions targeted to the moderators in a reasonable manner? No.
Oh, let's everyone put on our proper face.
Oh, proper faces.
Proper face.
Have
proper
tea.
Face. Yes,
tea with the queen.
Sit
Have my motto.
Sit straight up. Okay.
Imagine it happened like this.
Yes. Let's address some criticism to Reddit now because their community is a bit frustrating.
All right. Well, my comment goes out to Ine, one of the moderators in the subreddit.
All right.
Ine, I feel like there's too much. I can't think of a word for bullshit that isn't offensive.
That's
clutter.
Clutter. There's too much clutter in the subreddit. All these cat girls and fan art, and I'm looking for something with a little more substance so that I can maybe talk about the different ways that ninjas use the rotation and how to achieve maximum DPS. But I can't seem to find it anywhere because the clutter is just. Please, Ine, please help me in some way.
Now that was most valid. I must say. That was most valid. Yeah, what the fuck do you exactly expect us to do? We read an email and then echoed the sentiment of the email. Now, maybe what this person is asking is that we shouldn't have read the email in the first place, which I don't feel bad about. Anyone is welcome to email the show. And, if we don't read your email, it's probably because we didn't have time to get to it, not because we deemed it inappropriate to read on the air.
Yeah, hell, we read every email we get on the air in due time. Do you not remember that one fucking novel thing that you thought might have been some type of,
copy pasta,
yeah, from something you like. I hope we're not spouting off some terrorist bullshit right now. Some manifesto from some
like
ISIS members or something.
Some coded message or something.
Right.
Yeah, it's got a Manchurian Candidate phrase in there, and one of us in the middle of that email is just going to get up and murder everyone in the room with an axe.
Probably a Scalia.
Yeah.
That would require him to accomplish something. So
no. Scalia seems most prone to hypnotism out of any of us.
Well, I'd also like to point something out. Someone in the chat actually said something. They said, where'd it go? Anyway, I don't know who it was, but they said, if you think that LBR was the first one to say something negative about Reddit, fuck no. Skuro, there we go, yeah. He says, if you think that we were the first ones, basically you're out of your minds.
We weren't.
And you know what? No, we didn't say we were the first ones.
No.
But we did start the fire.
This.
Yes.
So
this is ours.
Exactly. So what that means
this one is ours. Yes.
What that means is that people in the past have tried to address this. It didn't work. Ours did. So why did it work?
Right.
Maybe it's because we didn't target specific moderators in a polite and meaningful way with just suggestions. Did you ever start to think about that? Yeah, so maybe this is exactly what you needed. When people actually rise up, they get angry, they start spouting out obscenities, and they sprinkle in valid little points there, people tend to latch onto that, okay?
Yeah.
People like drama.
Yeah.
People like anger, okay? Peace and love and stuff like that, that's all cool and stuff, but when you actually want to get something accomplished, unfortunately, more often than not, 9 times out of 10, this is how you do it.
Anger.
Anger. That's right.
Anger is a big catalyzing force.
Especially with the way that Reddit moderates. Anytime someone brings up a valid criticism, all it takes is 1 or 2 people to kind of slide in there and maybe use a little bit stronger language. And if Anay and his flock of seagulls don't like what they're seeing, they're going to shut it down. And Anna, you might like this quote. I forget exactly who says it, but when you make shit, I don't know what the quote is now. Fuck, I fucked that up.
Wow. Fail.
When you make peaceful revolution impossible, you make violent revolution like inevitable or something like that.
I don't know.
Something. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, and you know, people have asked, like, well, what's the end game here? What does Limit Break Radio have at stake? What do they want Reddit to change? Nothing.
Yeah, we don't fucking care.
Nothing.
We just want to start fires.
Nothing. We just want to have
a bunch of pyros.
Well, I mean,
there is no end game. What we want is anarchy and chaos because that's more interesting.
Yeah, we're sort of like the Fight Club FF14 podcast. So.
We're not supposed to talk about that.
Oh, right.
No, we are supposed to talk about.
Oh, yeah,
Fight
no,
Club.
you're supposed to talk about it endlessly, is what it's.
Oh,
yeah,
that's our rule.
Yeah, that's our rule.
The first rule of LBR Club is to talk about LBR Club.
Yes, yeah, all the time. So, yeah, but no, I mean, that's really, there is no end game. There is no real purpose. We don't really want Reddit to change anything. If they did change anything, it's not like we would participate there.
Yeah.
We haven't been, and we're not going to.
We've said multiple times that we are a platform for the community.
Right.
Nikki 7 wants something to change. Nikki 7 has an agenda. Nikki 7 sent an email that we read because we are a platform for the community. Today it's Reddit. Who knows what the fuck it's going to be tomorrow?
You know what? You can decide. You could be that email that sparks off the next piece of drama.
Anay, if you have something that you specifically want to say to the fucking user base, to people like Nikki 7, if you send in an email, we will read it unabashed.
They won't do that.
Uncensored.
They won't do that.
And push your point. Because that's what we do. But you're right.
We've offered them. Well, we've offered them to call in. We've offered them to be on the show.
But also, you have to realize, from their point of view, being on our show with all of us, whether what we say, I know we always say, "Oh, we're not going to gang up on you." You know, we're going to have a legit conversation. There's nothing guaranteeing that to them.
Yeah.
They're too afraid. They can't control
it's
that
fear.
outcome.
It's coward.
Absolutely
It's cowardice.
is.
Yeah.
So send in an email. Send in an email sharing your thoughts and opinions, and I will absolutely read it with the same vigor and passion as I did for Nikki 7.
Or post it to Reddit, sticky it, get all the upvotes that you can, that your little e-penis can handle, and you know, we'll go ahead and read every single word of that too. But you know what? It's supposed to be a discussion. There's supposed to be two sides to this, and then that's not how Reddit works. But when one side doesn't come to the table, when one side doesn't even want to begin the discussion, it doesn't matter how shitty it starts. I mean, here's the thing: is that I've actually attempted to have this conversation with Reddit mods in private, expressing concerns about the way that they run their community. I've sent those PMs before. I could look it up in my history. I don't care to, but I could give you exact dates. I could read it if I really wanted to. But that's the thing: is that, you know, it's gotten to a point where, okay, well, if you're gonna just fucking ignore you know, any advice, or not even bother to have a dialogue about this shit, then you know what? Fuck you. Why would I bother trying to continue to submit stuff to your community, even just in comments, if that's the way that you're gonna act? I mean, and you know what? Don't treat me like I'm someone special. That was the other thing, is that, you know, people said that one of the criticisms was that I'm trying to be a community figure, you know, or that I throw my weight around like a community figure. Don't treat me like a fucking community figure. Don't treat me like somebody special. Yeah, okay, I have a radio show and I'll pop off at the mouth and I have opinions, but that's not going to change. That shouldn't change the way that you address me or the way that you interact with me. And that, you know what, when it does, and the few interactions that I had with the mods and the way that they treated me like I was someone special, you know what, I fucking hate that. It's different when you know, like, it's different when a fan meets you. It's different when a fan is like, hey, I really love, you know, I've been listening for a long time. That's different than someone who treats you as a community figure that has to be respected because they have an audience, and that there's a distinct difference in that, and I fucking hate that. I fucking loathe that. Do not ever treat me like someone special. You can tell me how much you love what I make, and I will have a great conversation with you about that, but don't you dare fucking pander to me because you're gonna walk on eggshells around me or something. No, fuck you. I mean, I'm gonna let you know my opinion of you either way. So you know what? We might as well just be honest with each other and get it all out on the table. So, like I don't feel bad for even an iota of this. Anyway, there's more of this PM.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, we didn't even finish that PM, did we?
No, you didn't.
Oh, that's funny. That got us going.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got here next then. Now, I'm a recent listener, only having been paying attention to the show over the last 6 months. I agree with Nero's opinion on nearly most things. I actually agree with him a lot. On his wants for change within the modern MMORPG formula, on his hatred of hand-holdy content, on his love for Final Fantasy XI. I'm right behind him, cheering him on. But for the hate for the 14 subreddit, I cannot get behind. And it probably has to do with the fact that he went on a bitchscapade without making any suggestions. So maybe I'll toss a bunch of questions his way in case you guys are taking notes for the show. Maybe I can see his point of view a bit better.
Okay. All right.
How are the moderators supposed to prevent downvotes from the majority?
Oh, well, you can't. I mean, it is a voting system. But the thing is that they encourage an idea that I call baby modding, where people who don't have mod privileges, don't have the green tags, they come in and they quote the rule book at you for why your content is invalid or why whoever is posting whatever is invalid. And I've seen it all the way from when we had first started making stuff and tried to post it there a few times, all the way to more recently with Joe Never trying to get people to participate in his PvP events on the Aether server or on the Aether data.
Right.
Yeah. Like that's really the problem that I have. You can't really prevent. I mean, upvoting and downvoting in the most pure fashion is a fair system, but when you encourage a certain type of mentality in your community, then the downvotes become wielded as a cudgel.
Let me give you an example, okay? Let's say that someone has found a way to increase their DPS on Black Mage through a alternative method, right? So this person writes up a nice little post about it, puts it up in the subreddit, and someone comes in and looks and they don't really read it over and they just think, no, you know what, they post, no, you're a fucking idiot, okay, this isn't how it works, you just need to stick to your thing because there's no way that this can work. And let's say that they also included a link to like their YouTube channel to show it, the DPS rotation in action,
or like a parse or something.
Exactly. So then somebody else posts underneath, one of these baby mods, being like, you can't link to your YouTube channel, that's self-promotion, you've just broke one of the rules. So now the original downvote. So then the original poster comes back in, he tries to explain himself, right? Somebody else gets offended.
But then there's like all these other baby mods
offended.
Yep.
And then what should have been focusing on the actual topic, on this actual, maybe this new way to increase Black Mage DPS.
Downvote.
Instead, all of these posts are about people baby modding, arguing with each other. So anyone who comes in who's legitimately interested in this video or in this rotation reads the comments and they downvote the topic based on the comments, not on the topic. So then fucking Anae comes in, sees all this toxicity, closes the thread, and punishes nobody except the poster because his topic was toxic.
Yeah.
What should have happened in that case is a mod comes in, okay, deletes, bans all these people trying to baby mod, right? Says something along the lines of, you guys aren't mods, it's not your guys' job to police these forums.
You don't fucking work here.
Exactly. You stick to commenting on what the actual content is, and we will be the ones to moderate.
Yes.
Yeah.
That way, when he purges it, you still have the content there. You actually have comments that are pertaining
relevant
to the, relevant to the post at large.
Yeah.
And there you go. That is a perfect example
the way-
of how the downvote
Yes.
system is basically forged through the way that they mod.
Yeah.
That's how they need to change the way they mod to affect their community in a positive way.
And again, we made the same mistake inside of our own community. We used to, I don't think we ever encouraged baby modding, but we never discouraged it, and we certainly never handed out any bans or any
disciplinary action.
Yeah, nothing for people who tried to do that. And because we tried to do that, it ended up being a way more insular community that was entirely obsessed with rules and placement of posts than it was with the actual content of the post in the first place. And when the comments about whether the content is valid, is valid where you put it, if that's the majority of what the discussion is, it totally obscures what the actual point of the video was in the first place. And you're right. Anyone that does want to come in and talk about the virtues of the content, they're going to see the Reddit comments and go, well, fuck, I'm not going to do it at Reddit because no one here is talking about this seriously. I got to go to their YouTube page.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, that's I think that's the chief problem there.
Even beyond that, it's the message that it sends to potential people who are going to go on and post a video or something like that. The message sent to them is, why bother? All I'm doing is opening myself up to be modded.
Yeah,
Yep,
exactly.
yep. He goes on to say they tried removing the downvotes and people bitched. Do you not take into account the lack of shit there is to talk about in the game? Do you suggest that all art be posted somewhere else? Do you really want the community to be separated? What's stopping all the subreddit haters from starting their own just for the content they like? Is this sub not like Duty Finder? It's majority rules, right? You just happen to not be a part of the majority. What do we do when we get annoyed with Duty Finder groups? Do we not make a Party Finder group? All right, the first thing is there's a lack of shit to talk about in the game. Bitch, we have been going on for what?
7 weeks.
8 weeks now making shit up. And we're doing just fine. Take a look at our view counts on our videos.
3 hours worth of podcasting every single week.
There's shit to do out there.
Can I ask you honestly, can I ask everyone in this room, how much of our content in the last 7 weeks had to do with cat girl posters?
None.
Oh, that is very true. We need to upgrade our cat girl posts.
The point that I'm trying to make here, though, and again, this is specifically stifled by the way the subreddit works.
Yeah.
Do you think if somebody would have made a topic in the subreddit, right, pertaining somewhere to the idea of, hey, Nat Pat, whatever the fuck his name is, just put out a video about how the MMO community is dying, but FF14 seems to be thriving. Let's talk about that. Do you think that would have stayed up? Do you think that would have actually been a legitimate conversation?
No,
probably not.
Because we made it a pretty legitimate conversation.
No, they wouldn't.
But that wouldn't have been allowed on Reddit.
Not if Matt Pat had posted.
For whatever reasons, that probably would have been taken down.
Yeah.
So the whole there isn't shit to talk about in this game. There is shit to talk about. The problem is that it's so heavily modded.
I'm pretty sure Arthas just gave us like 25 minutes talking about the difference between NA and JP players. I mean, come on.
Apparently, someone in the chat mentioned that was on Reddit.
Yeah.
So if you encourage posts like that, even when there's no content, you're
I'm not saying that there's a total lack of engaging shit on Reddit. There's good shit. It's just that you have to weed out so much bullshit. You have to filter out so much bullshit that the good stuff is really difficult. It becomes difficult to find, man.
Yep. And then he goes on to mention that it's the majority rules. You just happen to not be a part of the majority. So basically what you're saying is if Reddit doesn't like a topic, it shouldn't be allowed there. If you don't like a topic, don't read it. Right?
Nah, I mean, it is a voting system. I mean, the
issue is with the voting. The voting is obscured because of exactly what you say.
Let me rephrase then. If there's a topic that you don't personally like, you don't need to go in there and basically cause a shitstorm so that it gets downvoted into hell. For example, if a crafting topic gets started, right? If someone tried to bring up crafting on our show, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, it's no secret. We're
gonna make fun of it.
We'd have the verbal downvotes for them.
Pretty much. Crap, I just disproved my point.
Bad example.
What you want to say is, if Ascali started a Dragoon topic and we got
you're not doing any better.
All the LBR people came and wanted to downvote that topic and just remove all the Dragoon posts on Reddit, that wouldn't be fair to the 2 Dragoons who actually played the class. You see, just because you don't like the topic doesn't Just because you don't
went
like
really far out of your way for that one.
We are just as bad as Reddit is.
I know.
Fuck.
Well,
Damn it.
I never.
Fuck.
Well, we never.
Self-introspection.
We never said that we were perfect.
No,
But
we
what,
didn't.
what you mean is like it's a majority system, it's a voting system, but
Yeah.
that voting gets obscured a lot of the time because of exactly what he was saying earlier.
Yes.
People come in and see all the shit comments that are on it and don't even read the original post. They just downvote it because everyone else did.
Yeah.
That's not informed voting.
Yeah. I mean, Reddit in the whole, I think, works. You know, the whole voting upvote, downvote system works. It's just the sort of community that's encouraged at RFFXIV has, you know, it's very specific in terms of what types of stuff gets downvoted. And generally, when you ask, hey, why is this getting downvoted? Because that's a common question on Reddit. Or someone coming in and going, I don't understand why you're getting downvoted. You know, when you ask them, it's always because of the rule book, and that's the part that I have the problem with, is that, you know, all of these people just very rigidly stick to their rule book, even if it's a piece of content that might have a valid point or might have a valid discussion going on with it. And then even if it does, you know, if it makes it past the baby mods, then then the real mods will definitely nix any interesting conversation that's happening.
And by the way,
there,
why is it immediately just closure? Why can't it be like, hey, you make some decent points in here, you just can't say this one little bit or something like that? Why does it have to be all or nothing?
Yeah, well, apparently, yeah, because all of those points were valid until Nikki brought up ham beasts, and then it was all over from there. Bans had to be handed out. Anyway, yeah. So let's finish this. Let's just read it to the end. I'm done commenting.
He goes on to say, I assume that most of the subreddit users are like me, filling a few minutes in between tasks at work. We look to giggle at a few quick images, check out any new FF14 news, and start a debate or two for later. The theory crafting and job advice makes it to the front page when it's new and relevant.
No, it doesn't.
Unfortunately, there's not much to discover in this game beyond what was initially discovered in the first few months after new content. However, there's always a new Lalafell picture to post. As far as the growing thicker skin bit, nobody is asking people to watch their language or some shit. For the sake of all fucks, curse up a storm. Call people out on their bullshit. It's just the blatant insults that aren't tolerated. They aren't tolerated in the game.
You can say, wow, that's some great fucking iced tea, but I can't tell you to fuck off. That's the difference?
I guess so.
Yeah. All right.
They aren't tolerated in the game, the subreddit, and most certainly in real life. Seriously, tell that coworker what you really think. It'll be you getting fired for an ass beating. Or both. Probably both. And no, nobody is offended by Nikki Seven's email. It's hard to take anyone seriously who says that shit that would never leave their lips outside of anonymity. If anyone thinks someone got their feelings hurt by this whole tirade, they're kidding themselves. Anyway, hope Nero can clarify a few things regardless of what this is used for on the show or not. Love listening and will continue to do so. Here's to hoping we get more scripted boss battles instead of linear as fuck dungeons in the foreseeable future.
All right. Well, thanks for, I guess, I don't know why you would PM that to Juxta.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised it got to us.
Yeah, me too.
You're welcome.
But anyway, you know... Okay, I think we've said all that really needs to be said about that. You know, and I don't. Nobody should be offended by Nikki's email. And you know what? Fucking.
If you're offended by Nikki's email, you need to look closer within yourself.
Yeah. And you know, but the thing is that that's not what we're complaining. It's the fucking that it's being used to ban the content. It's being used to quash the discussion. That's the problem.
The idea that all of our content has just have a straight out ban across it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Look at that. Gives me a boner.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Where are you taking your mod book from? You find that somewhere in Germany?
Whoa. Ooh. All right. So moving on from that, we have a very special guest on the line. We have one Ethis Asher on the line.
Ethis Asher! Ethis Asher!
How's it going?
Oh, man. Okay.
We got some bones to pick with you,
I'm so glad you called today. Oh, man. So last night at Youmacon 2015, we held the roast of Nero Grigori and had a couple of special guests that submitted videos. And I got to say, Ethis, your video was on point to a level that is hard to describe.
Far and away the best we saw.
You the real savage mode.
Roast master.
Wow.
I thought it was a bit too soft. I kind of got stuck.
What? Man, wait till you see Happy's video.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, Happy's video.
Wow. Hey, to be fair, I thought Happy's ending was the best of the whole roast. The part where it ended.
Oh, really?
The part
Where
where
he
it
stopped talking. That was the best.
Where we skipped the last minute.
That was my second favorite part.
No, Ethis, if you thought that you actually went soft in that video, I invite you to either make another video or even write an email into the show.
Go hard, bro.
And when we air the roast, I will read that.
The unabridged version.
The unabridged version.
Yes.
No, but seriously, Ethis, thank you for your submission. Thank you for all of the kind things that you said, and all of the fantastic insults. That was so much fun.
His insults were really great, but
Yes.
what he said at the end also was really kind of a punch in the feels.
Yes, it was fantastic.
Well, I'm really glad that you guys had a good night.
Yes.
And,
We had an
that you
exhausting
enjoyed
night.
it. And Nero, oh my god. Today I learned that Nero is not a community leader.
Nope.
Yeah, all right, mate. All right, buddy.
I've never.
No, look. The thing is, Nero is walking on eggshells around you. It's not because he respects you. Let's be real here. It's because he's sexually intimidated. And it's the same reason that he's not going to call.
Oh, the roast continues.
Oh wow! I didn't know. Yeah.
As for the last email, look, it makes some good points that that Reddit is subreddit is pretty vapid. It's very much people wanting to come on for a couple of minutes and just masturbate to some cat girls or whatever.
And I can get behind that.
And that's fine. That's totally fine. But it doesn't have to be that. And I don't really have a problem with that. But Reddit as a platform is capable of so much more than that. So I find it disappointing.
Yes.
The thing that really bothers me here, and the thing that I didn't actually know until this morning when I tuned in, is that Nikki7 got banned from the subreddit.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
he did.
so quick.
Yeah,
almost
so
instantly.
fast. So fast.
Now, here's my problem with this. Nikki7 is a name that before your 36th episode was probably known to you guys, is known to me, is definitely known to Mr. Happy and everyone else at the Dream Network.
Yeah.
Nikki is and has been, for the entire life of this game, one of the most active community members in everyone's community. He watches everything.
Avid supporter,
contributes
yes.
to everything.
He's a trooper.
Always has some really constructive feedback and some really great ideas.
Absolutely.
He's not afraid to pull punches when people are making mistakes and doing stupid things.
Yeah.
So the subreddit, when they're censoring people like that, people that they're so valuable to us.
Yes.
And Nikki, people like Nikki, and he's obviously not the only one. It's the reason that we make content. If people aren't engaging with our content, and if people aren't contributing to a discussion with us, if they're just upvoting and downvoting and saying, "Oh, great video" or whatever, we're not going to fucking do it. We're not going to feel driven to do it.
Yeah.
And Nikki has just commented stuff on my videos before that I've sort of felt a little bit iffy about, and given me some great ideas and stuff like that, and sort of made me feel like what I'm doing is worthwhile.
Absolutely.
And if Reddit wants to censor that, then they're going to have a serious problem, not only with you guys, but with the rest of the content creating community, which they already have.
They've already
tenuous relationship.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was just gonna say. Yeah, they've already sort of set themselves up with a bit of an adversarial relationship with a lot of the content creators. And I think I don't know if that comes from an arrogance of like, oh, we're Reddit and we're gonna just ride off the fact that we're Reddit. Because honestly, the people who started that subreddit, I don't know that if they had started it at their own forum like BG did, I don't know that they would have gotten anyone to populate that bitch. Like it just would have been empty. Because forums are very hard to start now. It just happened to be that somebody got to, register FFXIV as the subreddit first. You know what I mean? And then they got to, bring all their friends in. That's really how subreddits kind of fucking work. And so since they've set themselves up against a lot of very vocal folks, and yeah, like you said, you brought up a great point. Nikki7 is always has really fascinating, interesting things to say, has been very active in our chat, as you said, yours, commenting on your videos. And when you have someone like that and you're able to to see them give really constructive criticism, it actually is quite a juxtaposition.
What?
It's quite a juxtaposition when you have them write an incredibly impassioned email like this, because you know that it kind of comes from a place. Yes, some of it is hyperbolic, but it all comes from a place of like genuine criticism. And so to just blow that off,
someone who really knows the community.
Yeah.
It's someone who's so involved with the community and he knows what he's talking about. He's not someone that's just walked in and spouted some vitriol. It's someone that contributes a lot to the subreddit as well, despite the frustrations, wants to, develop and create this community sort of on the same team as all of us.
Yeah.
Because you sort of mouth off a little bit from time to time. It just really pisses me off.
Nikki7 really is one of those people where it's like, I'll go into someone else's Twitch stream, and Nikki7, without fail, is in there.
And saying hi.
Every stream I go to.
Exactly it.
I'm like, there's got to be, like, it's one of those things where there's 5 different people. It's like Santa Claus is in the mall.
Yeah.
They're all just, like, Nikki7 Claus.
And one of the things that this has pointed out to me, too, when you look at all of the different communities that we have, Happy's community, the YouTube community, us, Blue Garter, hell, even the fucking official forums, what Reddit's doing with the way that they moderate, it's like they don't see this community as a whole. They are slowly and surely secluding themselves from us.
Yes.
Because they're more concerned about keeping their happy little corner, their own little personal paradise.
It's insular.
It's insular, right. And it's not adding to the community as a whole.
Yes.
It's just becoming its own thing, and that's not good.
I mean, the last one of the latest episodes of South Park actually really hit the nail on the head.
You're still watching South Park?
Yeah, I know. With the idea of everywhere needing to be a safe space. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that Reddit or our FFXIV needs to make itself a safe space, and that was sort of the auspices under which we would mod our community.
Terrible idea.
And it just doesn't work out very well, because the more you end up quashing criticism like this, the more people will end up talking about it. We've gotten an entire episode out of talking about the quashing of the criticism.
Yeah, talking about Fallout 4 of Reddit.
Yes, right. There you go. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
But
because really all you do, let people do their thing.
It's the Streisand effect. It totally is the Streisand effect. The less you want people to talk about this, the more you want to try to edit the discussion, the more people are going to talk about it. And the thing is I'm sure that there's some people who are going to be disappointed with the fact that we had to take an entire episode and devote it to this shit. But the fact of the matter is that there are very few places that are actually allowing this discussion to happen. And the most important place for it to be happening is on Reddit itself, and that's where it's being most heavily moderated, and it's being in fact censored and deleted. And that's just it's flat out wrong. It's scummy. I'm going to quote David Hayter. It's scummy, guys. So yeah, thank you, Ethis. I really appreciate you bringing your perspective to this, because I totally agree, and I echo your sentiments that it really is problematic for our FFXIV to sort of set themselves up against some of the most enthusiastic supporters of this game. Happy, you,
Joe
us,
Never,
Joe Never, us. I mean, we've all, there have been a lot of people who kind of checked out FF14 when Heavensward was released and streamed it a little bit and interacted with the community, and then kind of went back to doing whatever they do. But
people do.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. But I think that Limit Break Radio and Ethis and the Dream, everyone on Dream Network and Joe Never and all of us, while we have had to find other stuff to do while waiting for 3.1, are so devoted to this community. If that's the only thing that we're hardcore about, we're hardcore about this game. We're hardcore about doing this show for this game. Okay, and those are names that I think that a lot of people trust, and if they want to try to set themselves up against them, go for it. I guess it's not going to end up well for you, though. It's really not.
No. Well, unlike you guys, I do actually try to make everyone happy, but that, for some reason, this just it just really rubs me the wrong way. I'm not okay with this.
And it's not only that. When you do that, there's just a different community you're pissing off, and this one who hates all Care Bears. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you're never going to make everyone happy.
Well, the thing is, what Reddit needs to realize, what a subreddit needs to realize, I should say, is that the exceptional thing about our community is that there are no strict borders between, the LBR followers and the Mr. Happy followers, and the Ethos followers, and the Mistech followers. It's that we're all in the same family in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And the subreddit doesn't want to be a part of that. I don't think that they've ever wanted to be a part of that. I don't know whether they think there's something bigger or something, more important. I don't know whether it's that, but they don't want to sit at the same table as us. They're off sitting with the cool kids.
So if we're all part of the Final Fantasy 14 family, is LBR like the drunk uncle?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who would hear that and go, "Oh, but LBR and Ethos, you guys are the cool kids. Mr. Happy, you guys are the cool kids table. So what? They want to try to go form their own table? Let them. Well, we're not.
But here's the other thing.
I don't see myself as a cool kid.
No, that's right. We don't.
Cool kids don't. The cool kids are the ones that exclude people.
Exactly.
And here's the other thing too, like that whole little metaphor that you just set up there at this. It's completely true, but I don't even think that the subreddit realizes that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I think
that's the sad
I agree
part.
with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And that's why I haven't launched into the same kind of tirade that Nikki has, and that I think he was totally justified in doing, is because I don't think it's I think it's just ignorance.
Yeah.
I think it's just thoughtlessness.
Ethos. It's a mistake. That's sort of where I was coming from in my criticism, is that I just feel it's
an honest mistake.
It is. It's just an immature way to look at of moderating discussions within a community, and and again, that's why I said I've made this mistake before. I was young once. I've made a lot of mistakes too. RFFXIV. It's okay. You're going to have those missteps along the way, and this is definitely one of them.
Yep. Ethos. Personally, I think. Well, first of all, obviously, we've said on almost every occasion that you ever call in that your voice is perfect.
Absolutely.
It has a very, very calm, very concise, very, very passionate tone to it, like it was forged by in the fucking fires of Mount Doom or whatever, and then bestowed upon you. But also,
I don't know if that's a compliment.
Is that a compliment?
I don't know. What was that?
The Dark Lord created his voice.
It's all powerful.
The Dark Lord created me.
And
it's all powerful.
And
Okay.
you could do evil with it, or you could do good with it.
But you can't do good with the
That's
One
the
Ring.
whole point
No
of the
lies. Tom Bombadil, he was able to resist the control.
That's true.
Anyway,
That's true.
no, that's a whole different thing. The point that I'm trying to make is that you also have such a poetic way with words, and the way that you are able to make points and just really speak to people is unparalleled. And if you lived closer and had all the broadcasting expertise that a Nero did, we would easily trade the two of you.
The way you called the Nero a vapid cockroach was
you trying
lovely.
to proposition me? Are you like trying to offer me a hand job or something here? Just for the record, I'd take a hand job.
I would offer a Scalia to you in a heartbeat. But
I'd do it. Absolutely.
The point that I'm trying to get to is that I would really like to see or to hear your take, basically like a translation of what Nikki said, because obviously the subreddit can't seem to handle
the salt,
the salt and the vitriol that was just drenching.
A translation into their ethos, not a translation.
Yes,
exactly. And have you put the video up and see, because they seem to be claiming that if you're not an asshole, maybe we'll listen to you.
Yeah.
And I feel like you are as much the opposite of Nikki 7 as we could possibly get.
Yeah.
And there's no way that I think anyone, they'll find a way because they're Reddit, could really shoot you down or try to, turn your argument back around against you. So that's something that I would personally
I think
really like to see.
We need to have a bit where Ethos MST3K is over his lines.
Not even a bit. Like legitimately have Ethos, deliver,
translate.
No, not even a translation. Just deliver his own personal sentiments and thoughts on this whole thing to Reddit. Ethos's letter to Reddit on this whole subject. I'd personally like to hear it.
That would be great, man. But anyway, we do want to thank you for calling up and for being so honest with the way that you feel about that. I know that this is a bit of a prickly situation for anyone to sort of step into and defend us on any level. I wouldn't ask for anyone to go out of their way to do that, but we do appreciate you calling up and making your time to come on here. And you know what? We got to get you. We have to get you back for the next time that we play Stump the Crew because
Yes, we got fucking slammed.
Yeah,
Ooh, definitely.
we got fucking schooled and gave away way too much stuff. So yeah, we need a ringer in our corner.
Help us give away less prizes.
Yes.
Need me to reduce the overheads.
Yes, exactly.
Fair enough.
Exactly. Ethis, thanks so much for calling. We appreciate it, and thanks again so much for your roast video, dude. That was so honestly the stuff that you said at the end, the really nice complimentary stuff that really meant the world to me. So thank you so much, man.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you'd like to call Limit Break Radio, give us a Skype message. That's the Skype account, Limit Break Radio, or give us a call, 810-515-8715 if you happen to be calling in on a regular phone or you don't have Skype. Let's read some emails. I feel like, some of the emails that we got, I'm sure will be pertaining to this. So why don't we start off with this very short one from Marcus Ragnar, and since it's so short, Juxta, why don't you read it?
All right. Hey, LBR, dropping a short email here. Just wanted to thank you for taking my call in episode 36, and I'm glad to hear that some of you are amused by my comments. Keep on keeping on. You guys kick ass. Marcus Ragnar of Sergeant Anus. P.S. All hair Aniro Grigori, the elder primal of Sodium, and fuck Calotium.
Fuck Marcus Ragnar.
Hey, it seems to
Wait,
be.
you're
this seems to-
trademarking fuck Calo?
oh yes, hashtag fuck Hollow. There we go.
Well, look.
You got
if
you
you're
and
really,
Marcus.
hold on.
You and Marcus seem to be trading fuck yous back and forth.
Hold on.
Why are you guys fucking so much?
Yeah.
If there's anybody out there who is really serious about this whole, who wants to get behind this whole hashtag fuck Calo campaign that Marcus Ragnar is trying to start, all right, you can go ahead and send all of your thoughts and opinions and headshots and measurements and digits to Calo at limitbreakradio.com. And if you meet my specific specifications, which it's kind of high, I'll get in contact with you.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that email, Marcus Ragnar, and thank you for hailing me. If you make sure to sacrifice a goat on top of what is would be the outline of my Odin helm chalked onto the ground, it will actually give me 100 more sodium points of power, and I'll be able to be that much more powerful on the next episode. So
make sure that you also draw a pentagram around it using salt.
Yeah, that too. That helps. Yes. All right. Escalia, why don't you take this next email here?
Sure. Hey guys, hi Nika. I worked for a satellite radio company for a few years. I will leave the name out because of pending litigation, but let's just say it's the only one in the U.S.
I wonder which one that is.
I wonder.
That's
One of the ways that they sold ads was by boasting of X amount of millions of subs. These numbers were always inflated by counting not only inactive subs, but subs active for only the free trial. Also, inactive subs that were put out in cars were counted as well, with the thinking that eventually someone would activate it. So I imagine that this is the same way that Square is inflating their numbers up to 5 million. Inactive accounts that are in the free trial, and long shot here, possibly the physical copies sold to retailers but not bought by the public yet, all fit into this criteria. Granted, it's from another company, but I need to fill my weeks of waiting with something. Thanks for keeping me entertained in this long drought of content. And yes, it's a drought. Anyone who says otherwise is a filthy casual. I am on Balmung and don't ERP, so I am bored lately. Callow get good at being funny.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aniro, we all know you love the sound of your own voice, and as I have described you before, are an overblown bag of shit.
Yep.
Man, the roast just continues.
I know, right? Hey, well, it's appropriate.
Nonetheless, I agree with you on most points, and you deserve props for always standing your ground.
Oh, good.
Escalia, please read this and tell them both to go fuck themselves. Callow, Aniro, go fuck yourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Good job.
My tits are being felt up by Callow.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
That actually clarifies as that qualifies as sexual harassment for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
For some
That's
reason.
where we're gonna start drawing the line.
You rule and are more funny than Callow. Juxta, please never change your
Funny
fucking
looking.
You fucking rule.
I like how he called them tits too. By the way.
Yeah. You know. What can I say? Nika, I have nothing to say that is clean, and since I'm a gentleman, I will just say Senpai is a lucky man. Thanks, guys and gal. I really love the show. Alarum Morningstar of Balmung. P.S. Ascalia, hit me up if you need an FC. We're always open.
I'm socially awkward.
Thank you, Alarium, and we've had conversations before about his what he used to do at that satellite radio company. Big shout out to you. I was a big fan of the show that he used to work on too. So that I appreciate being called a bag of shit by someone like him.
Wait. Is this the O&A intern guy?
Yeah, oh, you can't just say that like that.
I can't say it like that?
No.
How do I have to say it?
You had to you fucking
You
moron.
dumbass.
Sorry, I was gone for most of the email.
Fucking
Don't
punch
me in the
balls.
dick.
You deserve it. Zip up your fly. Jesus.
Oh, it is open.
I can't.
Button up your
They're
fly,
buttons.
motherfucker.
Did you even try?
Oh, man. Anyway, Alaria, whose cell phone? Whose cell phone? Cookie.
I'm so sorry.
Cookie.
Now, who was it?
Tisk.
Scalia.
Huh?
It was Scalia.
Ascalia. What are you doing?
Look at this.
She's right here.
Throwing it back on me.
Wow.
Ascalia being a dick.
Actually, that's good job, Cookie. Way to throw the blame right back on Ascalia. I'm impressed.
That she is an LBR long-term trooper right there. Good Lord.
Cookie. Party foul, bringing the whole thing to a grinding halt.
No, but it's Ascalia's turn.
We thought we could have you in here, Cookie. What are you doing?
It's obviously
I'm
Ascalia's
here
fault,
already.
though.
Yes, it is ultimately his fault. But I mean, everyone should have their stuff on vibrate.
You would think so. Yeah.
All right. Well, we have a nameless caller who wishes to be anonymous on the line.
Oh, okay. Hello, anonymous caller. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I just have a first question is, how many of you guys played 11 and how many of you made mythics?
I played 11 and didn't make a mythic.
No, I think no one in here made a mythic.
No one made a mythic.
We all played
So
11.
none of you made mythics? Like, why did none of you make mythics? Like, I don't understand that.
Because effort.
Yeah, it was a waste of fucking
10,000
time.
Alexandrias, and I would have preferred to have the Mandau, which I got halfway to.
Yeah.
So I literally made a mythic on a fresh account in 120 days. Like,
At what time period? Because
what-
I made a Gungnir in like 2 months. So.
Yeah, what time period was this?
This was starting from
Like
it
2
was
years
the
ago.
account was banned in
A year ago.
February, so that was when the Koga was finished.
Okay, so you
you did it.
All right, dude, you can do it solo in Dynamis now.
Look at this guy walking into the room. Wait, walking into the room and dropping his 3.5-inch cock on the table. Good job, sir. You did an amazing thing that was amazing back in 2008, and you did it this year. Fucking good for you, man. I'm so fucking proud of you, dude. That's
Yeah, but it's
awesome.
all about, like, okay, I'll make my point. I'm going to state it real clear right now.
Okay.
My problem with NA community on Final Fantasy 14
Yeah.
is a lack of motivation, and that they want things to be like handheld to them and coddled.
I totally
When you guys
agree.
say that you want people to help and like be patient and grow a community. I don't feel like that's acceptable. I feel like people have all of the resources available to them to do all of the things that they want to do. For instance, when I made my FF14 account back in May, like 1 month previous to Heavensward, I was able to get all the way up and into completion and prepared for Heavensward within that month time period, and then upon release was able to complete up through Ravana and get my Hive weapon. Like, literally, it was about time, effort spent, and research and preparation. And a lot of the people that are in this community don't put in that effort, I feel, because they
Amen.
don't want it badly enough.
Yeah,
No,
It's
yeah,
like
no,
when I
it's-
say,
that
like,
is accurate.
Hey,
Totally
you guys
agree.
make a mythic, and you're like, oh, that's a waste of time, and it's like, you just didn't want it badly enough, and now
Okay, hold on. No.
Wait, just a second. Hang on. You're talking about an FF11 mythic, right?
Yeah.
Because none of us play FF11
Okay,
when
hold
it was
on. No, this is look. I understand your point, and I agree with it wholeheartedly.
Captain, bro?
Everything,
get captain?
everything that you're talking about in regards to FF14, 100% behind you. Every single one
I
of us.
don't understand the FF11 connection,
There isn't a point that we could possibly disagree with.
Right.
But I don't understand why you called into this show and started with a point talking about a weapon that when it was first introduced, barely anybody had. The amount of gil, the amount of time, what you had to do in salvage, it was fucking insane.
It took
and
yeah.
you're coming on the show and flaunting it when you can solo it by yourself
now,
in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That would be the equivalent of me being like, hey, Juxta, you got carried through Coil, right?
So
yeah. When it was relevant content. Well, just last week, guess what? I trioed through it, so fuck you.
Yeah.
No.
Right,
Let's
yeah.
say, like, during Treasures of Ottergon, upon release, did you even get Captain rank?
Yeah.
Did you even do
I did have
all
Captain
of your
rank.
Enhenjar and have all of your 150k tokens for your iPad?
What is it fucking...
No.
Hang on.
I'm still saying, like, during, like, that era, when you played during that era,
Yeah.
did you, like, do all of those things to get that? Even though it was some lofty goal that you felt was unachievable, did you still do all the process steps, like
of
get
course not.
Captain rank?
First of all, not
hang on.
everybody wanted a mythic back then. Like back in that time, that was a goal that you had. If you had an entire link shell behind you helping you, very few people were attempting that as their own personal goal. That was a link shell group effort. Then you had to decide: do I want a mythic or a relic? Because they were like for each job, they were debatably one or the other was better.
Yeah.
The mythic was not always better than the relic.
Not all that great for
Even still, then most like on my server at least, the majority of people who actually had relics, it was a Yallarhorn, it was an Aegis, or it was maybe if you were like super lucky a Mandau.
Yeah.
That was like those were the 3 relics that existed on my server.
And you know, and here's the thing though, I don't understand, like you're muddying your point. Your point that you were talking before about people not wanting to put in the time or the effort, that's a totally valid point. What I don't understand is trying to question our credibility about what we have and haven't done in a game that's not even, that this show isn't even for, to try to prove your point that we're hypocrites? I don't understand what you're driving at here.
It's not that you're hypocrites. It's just that like people don't want the things because they don't value them as highly. Like,
well, we've been talking for 6 weeks about fucking incentives. We've been talking for longer than that about incentives.
Bring the gear lust back. Because did everybody want a mythic and a relic?
Fuck yes.
Fucking lootly.
Everyone jizzed their pants over that shit.
But none of that stuff when it was relevant, because if you can solo it by yourself, who the fuck gives a shit at that point, okay? Yeah. But when it was relevant content, no, this was not something that you could even dream of soloing. And when it came down to it, there was certain things that it doesn't matter how bad you wanted it, when it dropped, if you were certain jobs, a Dark Knight, if you were a bard, or not a bard, a ranger, sorry, you're not fucking getting it, because it's going to people who can put it to better use.
Yeah. Like there is nothing in FF14 that even compares, that even is in the same ballpark as a mythic relic back in the day.
Back in TOAU,
nothing even close.
Not one single thing. And you're right, dude. You know, like I could, if I really felt like I had the motivation to, I probably could get Ravana cleared very quickly. I could probably plow through Savage if I really wanted to, but I don't really want to. Part of the problem is on Square Enix's end with the incentives, and part of the problem is on my end because I don't have the motivation. But the thing is I'm not sitting here calling people out for their levels of motivation. I'm talking about the difficulty challenge presented in content that was already the story was already given to us. I mean, a lot of people end up confusing the points of get good and the story mode and wanting challenging content, and they conflate all three things. Yes, I like challenging content, and that means no, I don't want everything to be as fucking easy as Crystal Tower was. And yeah, I want them to encourage FC participation, but do you really honestly think that they gave me an incentive to do Savage at all? I mean, look at the numbers in general from how many people are clearing Savage overall versus how many people were clearing Coil in 2.1. They're abysmally lower. They're undoubtedly lower on all ends of the spectrum, NA, EU, and JP. They're all fucking lower, and it's because people are bored with it. It's the same shit that they shoveled to us in patches for a year, and it's just a repeat of that. So, I mean, like, what really is your point by saying that I didn't complete a mythic?
like, it's literally that there's no trophies or nothing of value to, like, show off, to give that incentive, to give that...
You're right.
Yeah,
we agree
with that.
wholeheartedly.
We agree wholeheartedly, but yeah, none of us did it because there was an insane amount of overhead that you had to do in TOAU. I'm sure some of us tried to start working on one.
Like I said,
but
I got
it took
halfway to a
it took an
Mandow.
incredible amount of dedication. And you know what? You're also right. In like 2 weeks, you can take a character up to full 50 and get him past Ravana. I don't disagree with you at all.
Yeah, I have a Gungnir in 11. Do you think it matters to me at this point? It's a trophy for me at this point. Say like, hey, I always wanted this before I quit the game, and I have it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything to have it.
It has value to you. It's a trophy.
Yes.
Like,
And 14 needs trophies. We agree wholeheartedly.
There's no big thing that seems like unimaginably, like unfeasibly realistic.
That's
There's
true
no thing
too.
to like work towards where like even like the relics that they gave us, like back like during whatever release that was, like they weren't like if they didn't have the same value or weight as a mythic, like anyone could go get out and get like that relic. They weren't
Absolutely.
like super like important and impressive.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you saw some guy in town with one and we're like, oh shit.
It was just
that
the
guy,
grind.
like, devoted his life.
That's all it was. It was just the grind. All a relic weapon in 14 meant was that you were willing to do the grind. I mean, like in 11, there was a considerable amount, not just of time and grind that you had to put in, but gil, effort, coordination. You had to organize all of these different runs through through the TOAU content and stuff like that. Fuck yeah! And you know what? They need to do something with the last 3 Grand Company ranks too, and it really needs to be something interesting. I liked that you brought up getting captain rank right out of the gate, because that actually meant something for a minute in 11, and if Grand Company seals bought you something that actually meant a damn, and those upper echelons were really challenging to get, that shit would start meaning something again. And so yeah, I totally agree with that, man.
That's literally my biggest qualm with like 14. So
Yeah.
like when I had my opportunity to resubscribe this past month, I didn't even bother. It just didn't feel worthwhile, because like there's no big trophy that just seems like some godly thing where when you see that guy in town with it equipped, you're just like, oh man, that guy like is so fucking baller. There's just nothing like that. And
That is
it's
true.
really disappointing, and it's the one thing I keep waiting for, and I keep watching, and I see all the updates, and I'm just like waiting for it. And I hope to God, like when they release like whatever the new relics are going to be, I want them to be mythic status. I want them to be like more than just a grind, but to like mean something. Where like when people make that shit, you like look at that guy and you're like, damn, like that's it, like, oh, that's so cool.
Caller, don't hold your breath.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, but it would be nice. I think you'd be hard pressed to find anyone here that would disagree with you.
Have we ever argued with someone so much who we agreed with completely?
No, I don't think so.
That was those are 2 things I want to say. Is yes, we agree with all the points that you've made. It was a little confusing at first the way you went about making them, but I would also like to commend you for staying on the line when a hero when a Nero went into rage mode.
It would have been so easy just to hang up right there.
It really would. Yeah.
It's just really disheartening, because when I do pub groups nowadays and I see people that are like, oh, I watched a video, it's like, you need to do more than just watch a video. You need to watch a video through your class's perspective and like take notes. You need to know the timings of like what's going to happen when, and when you should be popping what cooldown. Like,
but there should also be
like it's all like relevant information that's already been provided.
Totally.
And, like, in terms of learning it, like you have all the resources to learn these things, and most people, they just don't take advantage of it because there's no big trophy at the end to motivate people.
No, totally. And I think that was a big part of what Arthas was saying as well, is that there's really no will. Yes, you should come into each one of these endgame fights with a little bit of context, because there's a lot of stuff that you have to learn, and there's a lot of memorization. And if you come into it with enough context in the first place, it'll help. It'll help your entire group progress faster. But there is the other side of that, where like you really need to participate in these fights to really be able to speak to them or to know them at all. And it's a trial by fire in all instances. And what that takes a little bit more patience on the rest of the group, and on people who maybe are a little bit more advanced with this, to initiate those that are uninitiated.
Sure, but it also speaks to the point that because there is no big trophy at the end, if they had that big trophy at the end that everyone wanted, people would put in the extra work to get prepared. Whereas now they look at it and it's like, well, I'll do the content, but I don't see any reason to get super prepped for
Nero
it.
mentioned that there's a few points that we try to drive home on this show, and everybody seems to take all those points and conglomerate them together. He doesn't want easy content. He wants hard content. Well, then why the fuck aren't you doing Savage? Because it's not properly incentivized. Is it challenging and is it hard?
Yes.
Absolutely. But no one's going to do challenging and hard content just for the sake of doing challenging and hard content when it's not fun. You go in and say, yeah, it's fun the first week or two. But when you're repeating the same exact thing with no reward, do you need to get good? Yeah. Probably.
Well, I actually did,
but at some point, it's just like, why? Like, there isn't even anything that I really want or need.
Not even the story is there as a carrot.
Exactly.
And I actually rated Coil. I didn't rate it for gear. I didn't fucking grind it like crazy. I wanted the story out of it. That's why I did it. That's why I kept doing it. And you know what? The fact that and the story actually matters too, because honestly, getting the story from Alexander, it sucks. And had that been the story behind all of these incredibly well, but had that been the carrot at the end of the stick behind all of this incredibly hard content, and then you start hearing, well, it's really not that special anyway. Yeah, that takes a whole lot of incentive out of it too. I don't want to fucking play something that sucks. Like if the story, like I don't think that I would have been plugged into Alex Savage if they hadn't given us this. If they had given us. I'm sorry, if they hadn't given us the story, you know what I mean? Like the story isn't good enough to serve as an incentive.
Yep.
So thank you, Anonymous, for the call. Sorry for misunderstanding you for part of it. I think either
poor chat was just roasting him alive.
Either that or there was a misunderstanding there, or we were able to find a common ground or for some understanding. But thank you, Anonymous, for giving us a call today.
Yeah. But seriously, the chat was just letting him have it. My favorite comment was, "Hey guys, I was on disability for FF11 and got a mythic. Aren't other people not as good as me?" But yes, Anonymous, thank you for calling in. Thank you for putting up with the Nero's rage.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's got to come out sometime. All the time.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
All over the wall.
All right. Let's read a couple of older emails that we got here. By the way, if you'd like to send an email, hosts at Limit Break Radio is the way to do that. And we of course encourage you to write whatever you want. We'll read it.
Eventually.
Yeah. So again, thank you for everyone who emailed and who called. If you still want to be a caller, we've got a couple of more minutes here left in the show. 810-515-8715 or Limit Break Radio on Skype. Be sure, get your calls in now, because Limit Break Radio is, according to Reddit mods, a failing podcast and will not be around for very long.
Yeah, we're gonna be going the way of the dodo, because we're not too good anymore.
Yeah, we're just not cutting it.
Yeah, we can't hack it, guys. We can't hack it. So why don't we take this next email from Damage Atten.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, LBR hosts and hostesses. Actually, just one hostess. Oh, yeah, it wasn't plural. My bad. I have been listening to your show since you guys guest on State of the Realm show, and I have called in a few times and enjoyed your show, and I have you all on my friends list and in your LBR link shell too. Sorry if this email turns into a wall of text, of pages of text, and the butchery of the English language. Written communication is a weakness of mine, and I am man enough to admit it. I have gone back and started to listen to all of your old Final Fantasy XIV Radio Reborn podcasts and enjoy the development of the show to where it is today. I appreciate the time that Aniro Grigori took to speak with me in-game in the past, and I enjoy seeing any of you guys in-game. Even if you are AFK standing around, it's still cool. To Nika Kyanian, I enjoyed the Leviathan Extreme Unsynced Pony Farm Run Saturday, October 10, 2015. That's oddly specific. And if Nika is still interested in getting her missing ponies, I'm up to helping right down to getting the group going. Nika, also thanks for your willingness to help me clear the missing parts of the second Coil of Bahamut, but I got it done with help from the FC Mughals Ballad, plus all of the final Coil of Bahamut 2, so I'm done with that part of the game.
Yay.
I agree with Nero that the timing of the patch of 3.1 is coming out way too late, but I also think it would have been more well received if Square Enix said that this was also done to give themselves a safety net for the EU data center migration, which is nice and all, but if they knew the date it would happen, then why not try to release Heaven's Ward a month earlier to have the patch to 3.1 out in August and or September so the EU EU players have a chance at the new content. Will it's then new and the content mostly complete due to the migration, then get patch 3.2 in November at the same date for the release date of patch 3.1 currently. Finally, I think that Nika should get more mic time. It seems she is the most adulty one of the show. Case in point, a Nero's Blackout Night at FanFest 2014 after party. See all you guys in Eorzea, Damage Atten of Sergeant.
Now that's just different. She just doesn't drink.
And we hear your criticism, and we are responding by cutting Nika from the show today.
Yes. Yeah.
So please enjoy.
So thank you for letting us know. And as a result, we have altered our program schedule. And yeah, no more Nika. So. Ever. No, I'm just kidding.
But you get Kooky.
I'm here.
Yes, that's right. Instead, you get Kooky. So thank you for the email, Damage Atten. And actually, I kind of wanted to go back to Alarium real quick because he brought up something that I think we blew right past, and that was about Square Enix sort of inflating their numbers. If you look, Square Enix released a brand new website over at FinalFantasy14.com, and right there, right on the marquee, 5 million players. So Square Enix is really pushing this 5 million number hard, and it sounds like that number is only valid if you're only talking registered accounts. And I think that he brings up a good point. Look what the satellite radio companies tried to do by getting its technology embedded in so many different players, and then saying, oh well, so many people have access to it, and it's just it's a way to artificially inflate your audience numbers. And I think that that's really concerning for an MMO to do. I understand that player population is really kind of like what an MMO lives and dies by, but it's kind of disingenuous to put that 5 million number out there and then have your content sit and wait for 6-7 weeks and still be quoting that same fucking number. That implies that you think people haven't dropped off, and they totally fucking have.
I think it depends. If they're just saying there's 5 million players, they're not specifying active.
That's a
inactive.
technicality.
Okay, yeah, it is, but guess what? That technicality is everywhere.
Yeah.
It's
I know.
fucking everywhere.
I understand that. It's just disingenuous.
It's like when people come in, to my store when they can buy one, get one half off, and they come up with one thing. This is 50% off, right? Read the rest of the fucking sign.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it, but it's just like, I think that that's a concerning trend for MMOs. I know that they've been doing it for a long time because population numbers are the big bread and butter numbers, and it does. An MMO that has a low population, that's not a selling point ever to any MMO, any player. Like, hey, come play this world by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, right. Nobody wants to do that. So 5 million is actually the number that they're selling the game on.
But when's the last time you saw a population count in any MMO and said, yeah, I believe that?
Okay, good point. Good point. I would really like to know what the actual numbers are.
I do think it'd be funny if they announced the 7-week delay and then they just dropped it down to 4 million players.
Am I crazy, or did they used to release server population info with the 11 censuses? But I think they did. And they stopped doing that with 14, didn't they?
I don't remember.
I don't remember ever seeing a population chart put out there for FF14, and we've at least looked at 11, all of the
actually,
censuses.
It might have just been percentages. They might not have actually done physical numbers.
And it's kind of, in this day and age, it's kind of dangerous to produce those numbers because people are going to leave the low population servers because those aren't as good as the high population servers.
I can understand from a business standpoint why you wouldn't want to do that, but yeah, I just still, it seems, I'm just going to say it again, it seems disingenuous to me, and it bums me out a little bit. So.
All right, well, we got a caller on the line.
All right.
We have Wooten Panzer on the line.
What's up, Wooten Panzer? How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Thanks for calling Limit Break Radio. What do you want to talk about today?
Yeah, I just want to talk about this Reddit thing and how it's kind of pissing me off.
Let's talk about it.
Well, I just really I think it's kind of stupid how the Reddit community is having such a negative impact on the NA people. Like the Arthur's caller earlier made a lot of good points on how their community is kind of the polar opposite of ours.
Sure.
And I think the Reddit community has a lot to do about that, because I remember back in some of the earlier days of 2.0, where if you needed any kind of news or information, you would go to the Reddit. Like, that was the place to go, and it's devolved so badly into this like I don't really know how to describe it. It's just really everything is either super duper positive about something stupid or it's super duper negative about anything intelligent.
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen a real intelligent post about any kind of in-game information since like Savage initially came out and people were posting guides for it and discussions on how to get past.
I was gonna say, why do you need it? Just go find a guide.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that Reddit, RFFXIV in particular, kind of encourages stupidity and celebrates stupidity because that's that, and I think that's really part of the big problem there is that because stupidity seems to be a value that is that's honored over there, that anyone who like intelligent discussions end up getting shit all over because I don't know.
I mean, I'll tell you, I just pulled up the Reddit right now and I'll tell you what I'm seeing. Fluff, funny screenshot, whiny discussion about how the server is dead, which is probably even not. Stupid golden saucer, more fluff, more screenshots, fan art, and it's so hypocritical of the mods to me because if you look over on the right side of the page, it clearly says here's the FFXIV art, here's glamours, here's recruitment, so on and so forth. But why is the main page that's supposed to be for news and discussion like cluttered with all this stuff that should be organized by the mods? Like they don't do anything.
Which, by the way, if
you
you're not
call them out, they just ban you.
If you're not allowed to self-promote, how come artists are allowed to put their work up?
Exactly, and they're like, people sell commissions on this. Like, how is that okay? They're like, hey, I'm doing a bunch of commissions. Go to my website, give me money, and I'll give you a crappy drawing of your cat girl. Like, how is that okay?
It's ridiculous. It isn't.
It's hypocrisy.
Well, I don't know. I don't know that I'd go that far, but it's just, it speaks volumes when they've banned Nikki 7. They've banned so many smart, insightful people, and they've banned all of LBR content across the board. I mean, to me, that speaks volumes about the amount of thought and discussion control that you want to exert on your community. And if you do, I mean, that's fine. I'm not sure why anyone would continue to go there.
By the way, Nero.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much pride do you take in knowing a website has imposed a moratorium on your content?
Oh my God. Nothing can make me happier.
Yeah.
I am so glad. I'm so glad that none of my content will ever come up on that shitty excuse for a subreddit.
And it's ironic because the only reason I found out about this show was because somebody posted the Salted Earth episode.
I
was like, I gotta check this out. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, I have to start watching this show.
I'm sure.
And then
it got downvoted.
I bet it did.
It had to be reposted twice. Like,
yes.
Because people were like, maybe LBR or Crybaby. It's so dumb. Like, because it's just those. I don't understand why that mentality is there now. Like, what changed between when it was 2.0 and when Heavensward came out? But it's like, if you want to look at stupid pictures, why don't you just create a stupid pictures of FFXIV and have that be your little playground and let the actual subreddit be about loving of the game or criticizing of the game or discussions about things that matter rather than, hey, look at this stupid Lalafell post. Like, it's
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever expressed that we would have a problem with there being a section of it that literally says screenshots and images.
Yeah.
Well, they do have a subreddit of Final Fantasy 14 that's just fan art, but if you want to post your stuff in the main Reddit, that's fan art, that's fine, but you can do that also over here, but nobody does it over there, so what's the fucking point?
Yeah, exactly. It's a dead subreddit because they don't force people to go, no, you need to fucking post that here, and if you continue to fuck it up, I'm gonna remove you. That's shit that we didn't do. We would try to be nice and explain it to people, and they'd keep making the same fuck ups, and then you go, okay, well, sorry, you're gonna have to re-register an account and pick a new name, and your post count's gonna start from 0 because you don't listen, and that's how that's a far better way of moderating. Now the thing is that's just my opinion. I don't know that to be fact. That's based on, the 8 years that we did running the LBR community and what I learned doing that. And all I'm doing is pointing out their techniques and saying that hey, that really didn't work for us and I don't think it's going to work for you, and it's not. It's straight up not. We can see that. It's not fucking working for you. So maybe a different approach is what's needed. And if I were to go about trying to plan or establish a community now, my opinion would be to just let the users be the users and really only step in extreme cases. And that's why I encourage everyone to go post at Blue Garter. Blue Garter has a way better moderation policy and allows people to talk about shit in a real human, meaningful way. And yeah, a lot of times things get lost in sarcasm and jokes, but you know what? That is way more extent. That's the actual users being who they are, as opposed to a discussion being quashed and moderated. Thank you so much for your call today. We really appreciate it. You got any shout outs that you want to share?
No, not really. I haven't played the game much recently, so.
All right, well, fair enough. And well, thank you for calling, and glad that you were able to find the show from Salted Earth, and hope that you'll keep listening. So, yeah, I have a tough time, seeing what the mods are doing over there and going, this isn't in any way a good idea.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
there's been someone who's been trying to post topics for why the LBR hate, why is LBR being banned across the board, and the threads just keep getting removed.
Yes,
good.
It just proves our point over and over again.
Okay, everyone at the mod team of the subreddit, just this is what you do if you want this to go away. You make one post about LBR. You put it at the top, you sticky it, you leave it there for 3 or 4 days, let it run wild, let people get their shit out, and then it'll go away.
Just unsticky it and it'll
But if you try to just smash it into the ground where no one can talk about it, it's just gonna keep springing up like a fucking weed.
Yeah.
That's what we are, we're weeds.
Yeah.
Smoke some weed.
Yes, that's what you need to do. Just chill out a little bit. But Wyatt Turk saying that we should just make an FF14 subreddit. I don't want to do that. I absolutely do not. These motherfuckers signed up for this. These motherfuckers said that, hey, I want to moderate this community. I want to moderate this many people posting.
I want the power.
And they probably jerk off about it at night.
And Nate's probably jerking off to the fact that there's no LBR on subreddit right now. He's like, yeah, I showed those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
There's another LBR topic. Delete.
Let me just say, they do the hand motions when they say jerk off. I'm not here in the studio.
Yeah.
So hilarious.
That's what you miss. That's what you miss by not being in the studio.
Whole new side of LBR.
Kooky is really getting the full experience now.
Yeah. You got to get into it. And I'm sure he's got the Texas style grip, the reverse grip.
Sits on his arm for a minute to do the stranger.
Yeah, the stranger. Yep. But no, look, I have no desire to sign up for that kind of responsibility. We will never have.
You have no right to criticize them on their own.
Fuck that! I did that for fucking 7-8 years. I have context and I have a reason to criticize because they're fucking it up. But no, I have no desire to do that. None. And that's. I keep saying I don't consider myself a community figure. I understand that that's about 50-50. You only have so much control over whether people see you as.
It's not a position you apply for. It's partially an elected position.
Yeah, I get it. But the thing is with my attitude and my candor and the way that I present this show, I don't want people to see me as a fucking community leader. That's why I don't censor my opinions. Why I don't blunt my opinions. If you don't respect me, good, don't respect me. You don't have to. I'm just some fucking fat asshole who's sitting here yelling about a video game. You don't have to respect me. Exactly. It's fine. I don't care. It's not a big deal. I don't care if you try to hurt my credibility by saying what I have and haven't done in this game.
He doesn't have any credibility.
I don't. We've never pretended to.
He doesn't even have a mythic.
Look at me. A Nero no mythic over here. All right? It's not a big deal. The only thing that gives us the right to do the show is the fact that we've done it.
That we can.
That we sit here and we have
free speech, motherfuckers.
We have the room, we have the mics, we have the web space, we have the ability, and we have your support. And you know what? We did it without your support too. So if we pissed off literally every last Patreon that we have, good. Evacuate. I don't care. We'll go back to doing the show once a week. That's the worst thing that happens out of this. I don't tie my ego to this. I don't. The success or failure of it isn't. My self-esteem isn't tied to that shit.
Wait. Are you saying that what people think of you online has no effect on you?
It has literally no effect on me whatsoever.
That's a foreign concept.
You know what? I appreciate all of the fine, wonderful, nice things that people have to say. I appreciate the fact that people love listening to the show, and I love making the show for people. And as long as they get enjoyment out of it on its face, that's fine. If they no longer enjoy it, they can move right the fuck on. Because you know what? At the end of the day, at the very end of the day, I like making this show. That's I like making this show. And I don't want to speak for you guys, but
I like it too.
That's the big difference between the show that we used to do for 11 and the show now. It's not that I didn't like doing the 11 show, but at some point it felt like work. It was just like, oh, we got to do a show today. We're going to have to read for like 3 hours. This sucks. But I look forward to this show each and every single week. It's an opportunity for me to open up a mic and get shit off my chest about a game that I love to play. And the fact that I can do it and be honest about it and not have to edit my opinions and not have to censor myself and feel comfortable with my audience to just let it fly, you can't shame me for that. You can't make me feel bad about that. I've earned this. We've earned this right to talk like this. And no amount of your butt hurt or no amount of your whining will make it stop either. The only thing that'll make it stop is embracing the criticism that not just we have, but a significant portion of your community has. And at that point, when you start listening and you start taking it seriously, then a true discussion will start. And then this shit will end up backing down. This shit will end up going away. It'll dissipate, and you guys can go back to fucking off in your little corner of the internet, and we can do the same, and we can stop having these confrontations on air. Unless you want to come on and work it out on the air. I'm totally willing to do that, and if you do, I'll even say this. I'll even be polite to you. I'll even be nice to you. I won't yell at you. I won't throw all the salt at you. I'll let you get your points out, but if you think I'm going to agree with literally everything you say, you're wrong, because I'm going to challenge you on some stuff and be ready for it. Be ready for it. But you know what? They're cowards and will never answer this call to action, and we'll never see it. And that's disappointing because there's an entire audience for Limit Break Radio. There's an entire subreddit community that wants fucking answers and wants some shit to be done. Okay? So who are you going to listen to? It's not just us, man. It's not just us. When you look at the spread of comments that were critical to us and critical to the subreddit or agreeing with us, man, it's not even a fair fucking fight. It's not even a fair. We had 8 pages worth of criticism that Kooky, by the way, I want to give all the credit to Kooky. Kooky excerpted all of that criticism, and the most that we could get to was 8 pages. And I don't know what the Reddit criticism would total in terms of pages because I don't have time or the effort to put to doing to that. But you know what? I don't know. I think it would be far more than 8 pages. I think it would be way more than 8 pages.
Hell yeah.
So, just take that for what it's worth.
You put it so well, though, because I think a lot of people feel like that if the subreddit mods were to come on here, that it would be like Little Stomper or something like that. Like, it wouldn't be an actual discussion. It would just be us screaming at them. Yeah. You don't think we'd have a real discussion about that? It's a discussion worth having.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is, and the fact
trying to bring them back from the dark side, absolutely.
The fact that we have touched on such a nerve and hit on such a nerve. I mean, right on the cusp of 3.1. I mean, there was a million things we could have opened up the show and talked about with, but this was like right there. Everyone in the chat wanted us to talk about it. Everyone in the room wanted to talk about it. We were all chomping at the bit to talk about this shit, and we had to address it. We can't just let this shit go.
People want to talk about it, so LBR is gonna talk about it.
We have to be a platform for what people want to talk about.
We are the people's podcast.
No, we're not. I don't know. We can't claim that. Don't
claim that.
Nobody ever
Litigation
start
says
claiming
we
that we're
can't
that.
claim that.
Yeah.
We're an assholes podcast.
The Assholes Podcast?
Okay.
Can we be the Assholes Podcast? Okay.
All right. Let's take a couple of more emails and then get out of here.
Oh, we don't want another caller that's on the line already?
Oh, who's okay? Yeah, let's take another caller then.
We have Furry Tractor from Bryn Hilder on the line.
Furry Tractor, welcome to Limit Break Radio.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's a lovely day today.
All right,
how about on your end?
We're doing great, but before we get started, what kind of furry are you?
None
Besides the tractor.
whatsoever, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. Now,
What happened to your tractor?
Yeah. Did your tractor?
There's got to be a story behind it.
Miracle growth?
Why is your tractor furry?
Watch Anchorman and you'll understand.
Okay. Okay.
I can't believe y'all missed that.
All right. So what do you want to talk about today, Furry?
One thing, a little off topic of what you're talking about today.
Sure.
Is more or less like what's coming in 3.1 and like what's on horizon for 3.2 and like the overall growth of the game.
Sure. Yeah.
So if I could find a point on the live letter real quick.
You know, and I have to appreciate this because it's somebody actually bringing us back to the shit that we should be talking about this week,
Right.
instead of just droning on and on about Reddit.
I thought it would be a good palate cleanser.
A good palate cleanser before we wrap up the show. Sure.
Look, Juxta's learning
I'm
stuff.
relevant, hooray!
Yeah, so we did get a little bit of a look at 3.2, a big look at what we're going to be getting in 3.1. Did you find what you're looking for there, Furry?
Well, there were some good points, like for instance the daily quests for Beastmen instead of being just static level quests where you have to go this and fight this.
Right.
It's going to be the same thing.
Right.
Scripted-wise, but the point is like it's a dynamically scaling quest. Which is really interesting to me.
That is interesting.
Yeah, so you could presumably do it at like level 52 or at level 59. You can still get relevant experience.
That's really nice. I like that a lot because had that been an option for me when I was leveling in Heavensward, I think I would have taken that path. Not just for like the minion that I actually want out of the Vanu quest, but I think I actually would have done that to use the XP to level my classes.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a great change. I agree.
It's like I'm pretty sure the point of the original Beastman quest as well in A Realm Reborn is when you get to that level, then you use that along with your other things for the sake of variety.
Yep.
Like that's what 3.1 is adding as well. Is like it's just adding more variety to leveling.
Yeah.
Such as these Beastman quests.
I really think though that the Beastman quest should have been something, especially since they're scaling, that they should have been there right on the gate, out of the gate in 3.0.
Yeah, it could have easily been added like
Absolutely. Yeah.
I won't comment on it. I'm just glad it's coming now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Unlike Hildebrand.
Yeah. What do you think of the fact that they didn't lock out the new Beastman quests with the old Beastman? There was some question whether they would. I mean, given Square Enix's history and patterns, we pretty much assumed that they wouldn't. But getting confirmed that you don't have to do the other Beastman tribe quests to be able to do the Vanu. What do you think of that?
Lore-wise, every other Beastman is tied to A Realm Reborn. These are tied to the Heavensward areas, so
it should be separate anyway.
So it should be separate, in my opinion.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I felt about it too.
Yeah, definitely. All right, anything outside of Beastman dailies? We've kind of got to wrap it up here. So,
all right, I'll just skip right to it. Like
all right.
In 3.2,
yes,
we all know about this. 3.2 is adding the concept of materia melding on raid gear.
Yeah,
and
right.
Esoterics gear.
Right.
My main point I want to bring up to this is that they're slowly starting to break the mold of like how like the typical pattern of like, oh, this patch does this patch does this. Is like we have this pattern that we're doing right now.
Right.
Is this them just starting to progressively break the mold of the game?
Let's hope so.
I hope so, yeah.
And it's something that they need to speed up, instead of just getting something with a little bit more variety or a little bit more, breaking the mold, as you put it, every expansion or every so often, like they just need to come out and do it.
Yeah.
I understand that point, but what about the people who just like take it nice and lax and like play the game like an hour a day? Just
that's
have fun
fine.
with a couple
This isn't going to
guys.
affect them really in any way.
But I mean,
it's
I'm more referring to the aspect of like just too much at once, like just filling their plates, like, and then they just can't even finish it.
Right. Well, but I think that's a sensation that you should feel when playing an MMO. I don't ever want to feel like, oh, okay, here's my shit to do, and then I log off. Like I want to log in every time and feel like, fuck, what do I want to do? You know, like
it should always feel like there's more to do.
Would you prefer to have, be sitting here saying to yourself, oh shit, I have too much to do, not have time to do it, or I did everything that I can, now I'm not going to play for 2 months till the next patch.
Right, exactly. And when WoW had really started that pattern of progression, it got a lot of criticism from its player base. And it's just kind of disheartening that Square Enix would do the same thing. Now, what's interesting is that it sounds like with this materia adjustment, they're also going to be making adjustment to the relative eye level of crafted gear and giving us another potential progression path with crafting gear, and giving us some customization ability with being able to meld stuff that isn't just crafted gear.
It'll be cool to be able to buy crafted gear that I'm not just buying for glamour.
Yes,
absolutely.
I think the point of this introducing a system is that, do you think they're going to introduce other types of materia instead of just like?
Oh, God, I fucking hope so.
Please,
no.
This will
really
introduce a very grand scale of customization that, like, people are just itching to do. Like,
They
maybe
really
in, like,
are.
I know this is a long time from now, but, like, maybe 4.0 can introduce a new tier and then just...
There's something to be said for it. There is that market there of players who just want to be able to customize their classes further.
Come on, any fucking DD would jump at a chance to mount a materia that would take 3 seconds off of their blood for blood recast.
Oh my God,
You know what
yes.
I mean? You know what I mean?
Yes,
like they would
exactly.
jizz all over that, and you'd look at it and you'd be like, "Oh my God, I want to jizz all over you."
You know what
and
else?
then they introduce, like, minus 15 seconds of battle, and it's like, oh, I'm done. We're done.
Yeah.
Game over. We're good.
Yeah.
This
That's
is
a Dragoon
also
materia.
another way they could open up the whole idea, because there's a solo aspect to this game that's missing from, or that they don't have in this game, that they have in a lot of other MMOs. And the idea, like, for example, let's say they put materia out there that, on every auto attack, you drain 2% HP.
That's something.
Right? Giving you a little something like that would be really, really fun to play with. And I would totally build a second tome set to set myself up for something like that.
You have your...
I'm sorry. How about just something that, like, a job exclusive quest that's actually a challenge to do?
Yeah.
And is item level sync down, so it's not like you just can't just outgear this
And
shit.
you get something out of it that's not just
exactly.
like
for instance, again, that materia we're talking about, minus 3 seconds off global cooldown, and it's like this is a special kind of materia that you can take out of your gear and use it something else.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Something like that.
That'd be super cool to see. Like you were talking about, like a little bit of HP drain on your like a warrior who's off tanking. If he could build like an HP drain set,
Yes.
that would help him be able to do more damage and
Alternate gear
sustain
sets,
himself
man.
a bit.
That would be great.
So cool.
That would be awesome.
Fuck it, just eat all the AoEs. Who cares?
Yeah. Right.
We're not Dragoons now. Let's go too far.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks.
We can actually eat it. We don't lie on the ground. We can just take it and be just. We're fine.
Oh man.
You keep telling yourself that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you got to customize your gear a little bit more, maybe you could do that. But yeah.
Maybe in the horizon, who knows?
Yes.
Right now, we're just dealing what we've got now. I have faith this game will grow.
Yes. And so do we. Because if we didn't, we honest to God would not be doing the show anymore. I mean, yes, people pay us, but our commitment to the show would wane if we didn't believe in it, and we do. We believe in the game. We believe in the show, and that's just the honest fucking truth. And this game will get better. But it's I just like we criticize the FF14 subreddit, we criticize FF14 itself and its devs and its development practices all the time because we just want the shit to get better. Like
exactly,
criticism
you can't improve without having any negative points about whatever you're doing pointed out.
Exactly. Furry Tractor, thank you so much for joining us today. It was very nice to talk to you, and we hope that you'll give us a call back some other time.
Absolutely. I might, if the show goes on next week for Hype for 3.1, I will absolutely join again.
Absolutely.
Great.
Yes. Thank you very much, Furry Tractor. And I think that's going to wrap it up for emails. For calls today. Right. Thank you to all of our callers. I want to thank you for all of your time. Ethis, being so transparent, and as well as Arthas. A fucking phenomenal call. All of our callers were really, really good. Even Anonymous, who we kind of butted heads with initially, but then we're able to come to some common ground on. So we really do appreciate all your calls, and again, a distinct lack of calls and interaction from the RFF14 mods. Got to call it out. We're going to continue to call it out every time it doesn't happen. So yeah. Good job, guys. All right, let's take these last couple of emails and get out of here because it's fucking boiling.
All right. Hey, LBR crew, Thesian here again. I just wanted to update you and say that I'm now on Goblin, as I have found a lot of good people here.
Nice.
I even got to do turns 5, 9, and 13 of Coil over a weekend, though I had them done on my alt first. Oh, and hi, Nika. I wanted to take this time and let you know I can't get enough LBR. It makes the worst nights at work better.
Nice.
Now the reason for the email. I heard last week's show and the costume contest that the LS on your server held, and I was hoping to try and get something like that going on Goblin. Any ideas how I might get things going? Also, in this wait for 3.1, I have been leveling Dark Knight on my alt. The job is so fun to play, and even more so after you get Plunge. Thank you for...
That's true. I love Plunge is so much fun.
Thank you for...
I love any encounter with a knockback. Anyone.
Just because of Plunge?
Yeah, because, I mean, you can just, if you wait for the animation to go off, like, as soon as you get knocked back, if you hit Plunge, you just don't move.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff. And I never even thought to use Shakuki on Ninja for that until you were doing it.
It was so much fun.
Hand. It's so much fun.
I know, yeah. Alex 3 is a really good place to do that, as well as Never Reap. That's another really good instance to do that. I fucking love that move. I have more fun with that than anything, so sorry.
Thank you for the endless amounts of entertainment as I listen to the episodes over and over. Lastly, when you are going to have more guests, as those have been some of the best episodes ever. When are you going to have more guests, as those are some of the best episodes? Okay, I'm done rambling. Keep up the amazing work. P.S. While listening to the best of FF11, I heard you say something about the Odin server. I too was on that server when they brought us over for the others.
Nice.
I still went by Thesian then as I do now.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. I mean, there was there was a lot. I had started on Titan and then hopped over to Odin after they had opened up the servers. So I didn't get caught up in the condensation. Like when they started condensing servers, I think I had moved over to Cerberus by that point for a little bit.
I forgot who they mashed in with Odin.
Yeah, I can't remember either. But yeah, thank you very much for that email. And I kind of want to take. Do we have time for one more? I know.
Yeah, I got one more here.
You're sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I know, Kahlo, you're back timing to be able to get out of here. So.
All right. So this comes from Hailith Frost from Ultros. I know you guys don't talk much about crafting and gathering, and trust me, if you were from Ultros, we have way too many gatherers, crafters for me to care either. I wanted to talk more about the middle core. As someone who leans more to the casual side, clearing all of Coil, but after it's been nerfed and echoed, I find myself looking for something that's challenging, but not the smashing my face into a wall that is savage, and not the face roll, let's see who's got the bigger dick that is CT Void Arc, or will be. I want to know, what type of content do you think they could implement for people in my situation? And I know that someone will bring up Get Good somewhere in reading this, but I honestly want your guys' opinion on this topic. I thought that maybe the airshift stuff might fill this gap, but it seems to just be hunts from what I'm getting, and I hope that I'm wrong. Keep up the salt, because if you can't criticize a game you pay monthly for to keep it going, I don't know what you can critique. I constantly see people saying, in reference to a Nero, why does he even play? And if they're asking that, then they don't understand the content you guys are creating.
Yeah, and that's fine. And again, that's fine. Yep. If you don't get it, that's fine. We're not making the show for you. You don't have to get it. You don't have to understand what we're doing. You don't have to understand our humor. You don't have to understand what we're doing. If you don't like it, that's fine. Leave. We're not making the show for you.
Yep, keep up the good work, and I do believe that one end-all rare piece of gear will get more people to farm the endgame raid, as it is in the sense of keeping up the pace with what they're trying to get the first clear, which gave more life to raids. No offense, Nika. Well, this is obviously a little bit old, because we have gotten a little bit more information on the airship stuff, and I think that this is going to be something that even as a casual player, you can dip into a little bit.
Right.
And honestly, I think that that's what the game needs, not just as middle core stuff, but I think that what the airship is shaping up to be is something that will have a little bit of taste for casual people,
yes,
a little bit of taste for middlecore people,
yes,
and you'll get the most out of it by being hardcore.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
that's the kind of content that this game needs more of, is something that stretches all over.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree, and we'll see. We'll see what happens when it's released. But I do have a lot, since they've outlined what the actual system is. The more that I think about it, the more that I sit with it, the more I like it.
Yeah.
The more I think it's actually going to be a good system that encourages play at all levels and allows people to get good incentives out of it, and hopefully that's what we need. And I think that I'm even more encouraged by the gear shift that's coming up in 3.2, because I think that is an acknowledgement of we do have a problem with our gear progression pattern and we need to solve it. If they need to identify that by saying, look, tanks are getting screwed because they have to invest millions on melded accessories, that's fine if that's how you got to justify it. But the problem has been there ever since 2.0, and it's taken us this long to realize the pattern and to identify all the problems associated with a pattern like that. So it's good that Square Enix can also identify those problems, or is at least listening to feedback on it. And that's what I think that I'm most encouraged by in terms of what we're going to be receiving coming up. So thank you very much for your email, and thank you to all of our emails, to all of our callers here today at Limit Break Radio. It's funny, we've been called a failed podcast. We've been said that people have been saying in terms of criticism of us, and nobody listens to the show, and it's really pretty interesting when our download numbers are nipping at the heels of 65,000 inside of a week and a half, and I don't see anyone else that's even able to to quote numbers that are even a fraction of that.
That's right. 65,000 nobodies are listening to the show. Apparently.
Exactly. And I think it doesn't sit right with people when you have the most popular show and you don't care who you piss off. I think the reason that 65,000 people are listening to the show is because we don't care and because we're making content for them. But it's not to say that they wouldn't listen to a show that doesn't that doesn't see the way that the game that we see it. It's not to say that they wouldn't be a potential part of that audience. But if you look at the enthusiasm surrounding the show, if you look at the amount of people listening to the show, the amount of people commenting, what they're saying when they comment, I think it's very, very difficult to even come close to justifying that we are a failed podcast or a failed show in any way, shape, or form. So, if that's your opinion, that's fine. But I think the numbers state something very, very different from what you're trying to spin. So. Sorry.
And at the end of the day,
cool narrative, but it's not truthful, and people will be able to know that.
And at the end of the day, like, if you don't like LBR, then you could just go back to watching Fox News. So have fun with that.
Yeah, there you go. That'll work.
Right.
Yeah. What, are we supposed to be like Fox News? Is that what
That's what they want from us.
Oh,
you got to tone it down. You got to make it easy to consume by the mindless masses.
That's right. Yeah. If you want your tasteless, textureless mush, there's plenty of other places that will be able to give you that. And again, we do the same stuff with Final Encountercast. We say the same sorts of stuff. This is if I was talking about stuff in real life, this is how I would fucking present it. Always, because this is much more honest. This is much more real. I again, if you have any criticism for LBR, send it our way. We love it. We embrace it. We'll either try to make our product better, or we'll make fun of you on the air. One of the two. So just do it. Just do it. Why don't we have that drop?
I don't know.
How do we not have that drop?
How do we not have that drop? Because it's right up there with John Cena. Like, is anyone after being at Youmacon the entire weekend, anyone else want to do the John Cena drop anymore? Because I sure fucking don't.
No, I really don't anymore.
I do.
There's like 5 people that fucking ruined that joke.
We could be number 6.
See what you did there. See what you did there. All right. We're going to wrap up this episode. And thank you guys so much for calling, for emailing, for writing in everything, all your comments. And we'd like to thank everyone who participated in the roast last night. I said it last night, but I do want to say it again. I really appreciate you guys setting that up for me. And that was a huge honor. And to be made fun of by people that I respect, like you guys, and it was a huge honor for me. I never thought that I would ever do anything that is worthy of roasting. I never thought I'd be a name that's worthy of roasting. I always figured that I would be the guy making fun of somebody important. I do stand-up comedy. I do stage comedy. And I never thought ever in my wildest dreams that there would be anything that I would do that'd be worthy of having that honor. So thank you guys.
Well, sometimes they put non-important people up there too.
That's true, anyway, so thank you guys for everything, and thank everyone who submitted videos to that, and who was a part of the montage. Ethis Asher, Mr. Happy, Joe Never. I want to thank all of you guys. Samus for coming all of that way. Kooky, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
In the studio today, and for all of your hard work. We thank you so often on the show, and we just kind of blow past it. But actually having you here, I do want to take the opportunity to say on the show to your face,
I love you.
Yes, you are fantastic. You do your job better than anyone that we could have imagined. And I know that the hashtag hire Kooky thing was kind of a joke at first, but you have been a boon to this organization like Escalia has never been. So we really do appreciate all of your hard work, and we want to thank you for coming all the way out here. I also want to send a shout out to Sevo Kevo too, who came all the way out to the roast, and we tried to get him here to hang out for the show, but we wouldn't have been able to get him back in time to do cleanup because he volunteered out at Youmacon.
Yeah, okay.
So big shout out to him, and thanks again, Kook. Really.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks.
I had fun.
Good. I'm glad. I'm really glad you had fun. Did you want to get on the Reddit in on the Reddit bashing?
No.
No.
I don't want to be associated with
maybe
you.
you could address one particular comment that I saw where we were all called rapists. You've now spent the entire weekend with us. Do we strike you as rapists?
Yeah.
No, not
at
all.
Get that rapey vibe from any of us?
Not at all.
I'm terrifying and a
Maybe
potential
just by
rapist.
Look. Poking you with my Zidane
Yeah,
tail, okay?
weekend.
Completely different. That's completely different. All right, guys. As much as she loves Zidane, she was asking for it.
Was it?
All right.
Wow. Wow.
Well, we've officially not shed that pall upon our show.
Wow. Sometimes even I have lines.
You guys, I just the door was opened up, and I'm like, I cannot take it.
Well, let me finish. It didn't get anywhere close to my line, but I could see why some people would have their jimmies rustled by that.
Oh my god.
Oh, we're gonna hear about it from Twitter now. First Reddit, now Twitter. All the SJWs are gonna be up our ass. Anyway, thank you.
Love you, Kooky.
Yeah.
Love you too.
Yeah. Thank you, Kooky, so much for all of your help and for hanging out and for helping us with the roast and this weekend and everything. You rock so hard, and it's been so much fun having you in the studio. So thank
you for having me here.
Absolutely. All right, that's going to do it here for Limit Break Radio. Again, if you would like to send an email, hosts@limitbreakradio.com. Join our Facebook and Twitter pages, because that is Kooky's domain. So if you're also a fan of Kooky, make sure that you're hitting like on Facebook and following us at Limit Break Radio. Follow here on twitch.tv. Maybe this is your first time checking out the show. We had a very early on host from Mr. Happy tossing a bunch of people our way. This is your first time hanging out. We don't normally just bash on people like this for an entire show. This was a big thing.
We don't?
Well, I mean, not usually.
Maybe
we
Matt
actually
Pat would dislay.
We actually
not every
show. We actually do talk about FF14 when there's stuff to talk about. So if this is your first first time, maybe go check out some of our other shows over at Limit Break Radio and get a feel for what we do here. Hit that follow button. Hang out with us. We live stream every Tuesday for Reset Day, and we're trying to get a better schedule coming up and pinned down here. So that's going to do it here from Limit Break Radio. I want to thank all of my co-hosts, Kalo Landis, Juxtaposition, Escalia Rayumasa, even though she wasn't here, Nika Kayanian, and our special guest today, Kooky Persona. I'm a Nero. Keep listening. Limit Break Radio is a production of LimitBreakRadio.com and Bender Media Productions. Today's episode was produced by Juxtaposition and Kalo Landis. Final Fantasy XIV and Eorzea are trademarks of Square Enix. Funding for Limit Break Radio is provided by Miri Kennett, Scry De La Rosa, Zurian Urexin, Satori Komeji, Karquin Albarn, Rajan Nelka, and fellow Limit Break Radio listeners. To support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/LimitBreakRadio. Opening music in this episode provided by Daniel Lambie. Listen to Man with the Machine Gun and other great tracks at Facebook.com/Daniel Lambie Metal Gamer. Closing music in this episode provided by Husky by the Geek. Listen to this and other great Final Fantasy XIV and video game rock covers and original music at Facebook.com/Husky by the Geek. In-game graphics for Limit Break Radio's Twitch stream are provided by Diamond Multimedia. Check out their line of AMD graphics cards and other hardware at DiamondMM.com. Limit Break Radio and its hosts are solely responsible for its content.